Hey,
Let's get it.
let's go live, Hans.
All right.
Yep.
So, when we last left off, the party had managed to completely clear the winery, give it a little brief search over for any rewards that they might deem appropriate to themselves. Returned the vast majority of their findings to the Martikovs, who were just waiting off the wings. Nearby in the sort of like copse of trees just north of the actual winery itself. They then had a long rest, finally, and while feeling refreshed and leveling up to level 7, they were faced with a predicament as what to do with a particular druid who did not speak any languages that they spoke. The party, whilst amidst this dilemma and moral quandary, deciding whether or not they're going to let the druid go, or just kill him, or such and such, some of the more receptive members heard the galloping of hooves and saw the one and only Strahd von Zadovich riding astride a nightmare, galloping to the southwest. And that was where we stopped.
Wasn't a rapid dash then?
Not a rapid dash.
Close.
Got to. Fuck. What's the fucking ball?
I was stuck. It was one of the things.
That would be quite funny.
So is it flying away? Is it flying towards that? Or is it just flying across?
It's flying towards the druid hideout, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
the
it was
hill.
flying towards
Which is where
Yester
we were
Hill.
potentially going to be getting.
Wow.
Yeah, if you guys had stayed inside, you might have missed that.
It seems we have to go post haste to the druids.
Yes, but if we go to this place now, where Strahd is, then we are going to have another confrontation with him. We are knowingly going towards someone who could deal us some significant damage.
I am aware that our last confrontation with Strahd was rather not too bad. And we have the glowy sword of holy righteousness.
That is true. I do feel empowered by this and stronger as a team, but I can't help but think that we have other things that can help us on our path. And knowing that he is not in Vallaki, we have an opportunity there to potentially revisit.
But just bear in mind, he's got a flying nightmare with him, so he can probably get to Vallaki probably quicker than we can.
Yes, that's true. If he knows that he needs to be in Vallaki, if we don't know whether he even saw us down here. If he's in Yester Hill, then we at least have the opportunity to do some business in Vallaki and unburn some bridges.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe we can.
On the other hand, if he gets to Yester Hill, he can capture the seed, which is a powerful magical artifact. I am not certain how good an idea that would be. Strahd has enough powerful magical artifacts.
I don't think it matters where we are anyway. Strahd will always find us one way or another. Perhaps you just go and get the seed.
If Strahd's business is to go to Yester Hill and obtain the seed, he will beat us there, he will take the seed, and he will be gone before we can do anything about it.
I think while he's probably not there, while we know he's there, maybe it's a good time to do the things we want to do, because we know where he is at the moment. So maybe
the things elsewhere, you mean? Like going to delivering the beer and going to Krezk. Okay, I'm inclined to agree. The only slight fly in that ointment is what do we do with this druid now? Do we give him to the Martikovs as a prisoner?
Let's ask the Martikovs what they want to do, perhaps. Because they are the ones that beheaded problems with him.
Yes, although I will say one thing. When I was speaking to him, although I couldn't understand his words, he seemed as though he was expecting something good to happen here or nearby soon. And by good, I mean good for him and bad for everyone else. Maybe there's more coming.
Maybe that's why Strahd is flying over there now.
We
Perhaps.
could also use the fact that Strahd might clear the way for us to wipe out the rest with ease before they make more blights.
Well, that is, if the druids are not working with Strahd. That could be a
Yes.
possibility.
I definitely think that the wild men and Strahd are certainly not hostile towards each other. From questioning them, I showed a picture of Strahd, and there was a positive response from the druid.
Ooh, that's true. If that is the case, if we leave now, Strahd might rally the wild man and attack the winery again.
I think that if Strahd was to attack the winery, our presence will not necessarily deter that.
It may assist, though.
True, although I don't think that is a battle that we would win. We almost lost to Twigs and Leaves. I do not think that Strahd, with his increased power and abilities, would... I just don't think we have a chance against him. And honestly, the fact that we have already been in Strahd's crosshairs, he razed down to the ground a village because we dared to move something that he was looking for. You know, that's...
Speaking of...
He is focused on us and our activities. I think the more distance we can put between us and the winery, the better. And between you and me, if the winery is a target, then if we are elsewhere, there's potentially more time for us to do what we need to do.
But the question is, will they allow us back in Vallaki, or we're going to sneak in like we
if you remember, I agreed for them to place a message at a checkpoint by the Crossroads, to bury it underground, 10 feet from the fallen stump of the Crossroads sign. Whatever we do, we will be able to revisit there and pick up that message from them if there is one there. If not, then we will pick up with the Were Ravens from the Blue Water Inn, because they agreed to keep a watch out for us.
How far are we from this druid place?
You would know, based on what the Martikovs has told you, it's about an hour and 5 minutes. Travel. I mean, if you wanted to push the horses, you could probably do it a little bit quicker, but that's assuming you're going at a standard traveling pace.
How much again? I missed that.
About an hour and 5 minutes.
And how far is Krezk? That's Krezk. Vallaki, sorry.
Vallaki would be significantly further. Vallaki is... It's not quite... It's closer to... It's, let's see, 1 hour plus 20 plus 30. That's an hour 45 minutes plus 5. It's over 2 hours. It's like an hour and... I mean, it depends what way you go. If you take the main roads, that's an hour 30... like an hour and 50 minutes. It's another 2 hours. And if you go via Lake Baratok, it's a little bit longer because it's like a winding path.
I would also... Sorry.
Go on.
I would also say that what if Vallaki is no more? What if Vallaki is Barovia?
Then
we angered Strahd there.
If that
and we saw wolves and a potential werewolf nearby.
If Vallaki has been sundered, then all we can do is give more wine to the Vistani camp and be on our way. I mean, we are up against somebody who incredibly powerful, who long before our arrival was able to do this. No, you know, our presence may have angered him, but for us to have not angered him, we would have had to allow his activities to continue.
How about if we take this druid of us and try to bargain with these druids? Perhaps one of them can speak common or a language you can understand, and we can find out more why they're attacking the winery. And who knows? Maybe potentially we could even make new allies and turn this around to our favor.
Max, what makes you think that the wild men will want to negotiate with us peacefully if we have killed a number of theirs and they are allied with Strahd and Strahd is present?
Maybe I'm just being too hopeful.
I see no diplomatic outcome from us going to the Hill.
Out of interest, what kind of these are pine forests or like needle forests, and if so, do they lead all the way up to the camp?
What are you referencing? Sorry, like the forests in.
How does how far away is the forest, and what kind of wood is it? Like the different woods burn with different quality, and pine trees and etc. burn much.
Oh, I do have a question to the party.
You asked that when I check about the trees.
We have just leveled up, and no one took a spell that can understand languages.
Yep. What do you want me to do?
Now, comprehend language is something that we, be quite useful now.
I'm not the type of character that can learn that now.
You know what, Max? Why don't you multi-class into a cleric or a wizard?
Yeah. Maybe. Peace cleric, the one that gets like fucking free bless all around.
Or you could go war mage and get lots of shield.
So the Savage Woods, they are like big towering trees whose tops are like lost in like heavy grey mist. The tree trunks are like very close to each other, like it's quite difficult to maneuver through them. Basically, any travel off the path, it is achievable, but you do it at half speed.
Okay.
But you can move off. Like you could theoretically, if you wanted, you could try going straight north to Krezk, like through. Like the Martikovs could point out the direction of Krezk to you, and could say, yeah, if you go straight north, it's only like 2 miles north, but you have to cross the Riven River, and there's no ford there.
That sounds fucking terrible.
And a lot of people have told you about the dangers of leaving the path. Ismark and Irina were very against it, as were other members you travelled with before, such as Were-Ravens. They always said that the woods were dangerous.
My question to the party would be, do you happen to have oil by any chance? And if so, how about we set the forest ablaze to smoke them out? Just like, interrupt the conference between Strahd and the Wildman a
tad. Let's not literally burn this place to the ground just to maybe achieve something.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Worth a shot.
Like, to summarise the person a bit, Callan will insist not to go to Yester Hill while Strahd is there. Cannot see a positive outcome for anybody doing that. And I can only see a positive outcome going from doing what we needed to in Vallaki and then heading back.
I'll mention too that didn't we make a promise to take Irina and Ismark to the town? So maybe this is the best time to do it too.
We did, yes. If Strahd has gone away from Vallaki, then Irina and Ismark will have the best chance of making it to the Abbey of St. Markovia.
Seek would be for going to Yester Hill, but he will comply if the party wishes to go, of course, to other places.
Yeah, Max will agree with Callan and Lux. I think it's a good idea now that we know where Strahd is and everything. I think it's a good idea to try to move Ismark and Irina from Vallaki.
Or Prince's Castle.
So I guess it's settled. Well, we must make haste.
Yes, although we need to wait for the barrels to be ready. Or alternatively, we could take 2 barrels to Vallaki, 3 barrels to the Vistani camp, and perhaps have the Blue Water Inn settle for what they've got.
I think it's better if Lux and Seeker take it to Valaki, and me and Callum take it to the Vistani. Just because our faces are hold on.
We have one cart
Oh,
and,
fuck
and
yes,
5 barrels, and I can disguise myself also. Just because we're going to Valaki doesn't mean... And our plan may change along the way. We may find a message at the location I've requested saying, oh yes, we were all charmed, everything's fine, come back in. And
or we might find Valaki a fucking meteor crater, who knows?
We may. And that's why I don't want to spend the whole morning talking through ifs and buts. All I can say is, yes, going to Yester Hill is a bad idea. We should prepare to go... Are you singing, Buddha? I was so Buddha's camera popped up on mine, as in that's where I'm getting some sound from, and I saw his mouth like do. Anyway, yeah. So we should talk to the Martikovs to find out what they want to do with this wild man, and then leave him to them. I can't do anything by my hand.
As well, I just don't think we should maybe split up as well next minute, because I mean, you kind of nearly run ahead and nearly got yourself in bigger danger in a bad state. I don't think we should separate ourselves even in a healthy state at the moment.
Fine.
I agree.
Quite work out before, from what I've heard.
Fine.
Wait.
Callum will go find one of the Martikovs that's in sort of one of the ones in charge.
Yeah, you'd probably find Adrian, just like he's probably still working away. At this point, he's kind of just waiting, probably having like a small glass of water, just sitting like watching with this barrel. It's like soaking in like one of these larger vats, just filled with water.
So, Opal, did you say that is 2 barrels left to be loaded? Was it only 2 barrels?
So you have 5 currently ready to go, and there's a final barrel, but like the wood was like warped and damaged, that it wouldn't have been able to make the journey. So they're busy treating another barrel to transport it in that, but the barrels have all dried out because the Martikov's been out of the winery for several days.
All right, and how long would that be?
He said it would take you to about 10 a.m. Then they'd be ready to move out with all of them. Just because it's a matter of hours, it's a big barrels. So just let it soak.
What time is it now?
At this point, it's around like still 7 in the morning, so it's still quite early. You guys could theoretically go away, do something, and come back before that would be ready, or you could just take the 5 now and say solve the final one.
In theory, we could go. Wait, how long? It's 2 hours. Damn.
It's 2 hours to get
If you remember, the last time we had a little trip, we ended up in Berez. And we burned all our resources and lost my brother for a little trip.
Understandable. Have a nice. I'll say something else. Very well.
Should just do that in your normal voice.
Very well. We shall wait. I presume.
I think perhaps you can go to Valaki and come back.
Valaki's about an hour and 15 minutes by the road. Krezk is about an hour and 15. So you could very easily go to Krezk and back, or you could go to Yester Hill and back, which is an hour and 5, very easily. Valaki would be a little bit longer. So you could just tell him like, hey, we're not going to be back to like 11. We're just going to make sure like Valaki's chill before we come get you.
Yeah, how about if we go to Valaki, save the wine, and then can we go from Valaki to Krezk, and then from Krezk come back and get the last barrel?
Hang on, say that once more. Say that again.
So we go to Valaki. We bring the wine. We pick up Arena and.
Hang on. Can I just be clear? How many? So we're taking 5 barrels in the cart to Valaki. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Pick up Irina and its mark.
Yeah, and then we go to. From there we go to Krezk. Wait for Arena's back.
Okay.
And then from there we come back and get the last barrel. Would that be enough time? Perhaps they'll probably be safer there as well.
That'd be plenty of time, but then we're also ignoring the fact that we've told the Vistani camp that we can bring them some wine as well. Because you've got a delivery in Valaki, you've got the Vistani camp, And then we've got, you can always help with Krezk as well. The plan was going to be 3 barrels to the Blue Water Inn in Vallaki, 3 barrels to the Vistani camp near Vallaki, come back, get some bottles, go to Krezk with Arena and Ismark as a, hey. In fact, we could even take the bottles with us potentially.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I think that's what the plan was going to be.
The only thing I could think of is maybe we only give the Blue Water Inn 2, and then because they're family, aren't they? So they kind of understand. I'm saying everyone's not ready, but
I'm sure. Yes, they have an established relationship there.
Are you having this conversation in private, or are you having it like around Elvie or Adrian or any of the other Markovs? Are they present at all?
No, this is a separate. So I think it's the 4 of us and the Druid away from the Markovs. Yeah.
Druid's still just like confused, whimpering in pain.
Yeah.
While we are
in
Vallaki, do you wish to purchase anything? Any items, food, weapons, armor, etc.?
I could do with a breastplate if we can find one.
Oh, I can't wear much. I'm not a big fan of that.
I think Secret doesn't need any items.
I could do
Just
some
asking,
javelins.
like, if we like, etc. If you need.
I could do some javelins.
Sure.
So
I mean, we have quite a lot of gold on from the last encounter.
So if we didn't want to wait, we could always.
Yeah, can you post? Sorry, Matt. Can you post the loot again on the loot channel from the Markovs? Because I don't think it's there. I can't remember what it is.
The one from the 19th of February, 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's it. That is accurate.
50 gold pieces, 3 quarter staffs, 1 magical staff, 100 silver.
You didn't take their belongings, so you gave them back, and then they gave
Oh,
you.
okay. So
You could have taken all they owned, but you instead gave them back all they owned, and they gave you
okay, so
like a thank you.
Fine.
So we could always leave now then if you wanted, and then just explain to people in Blue Water Inn why they're missing one. But I'll leave that to you guys. It's just a matter of, I'm just thinking of time, because sometimes it can be quite.
You do know
precious.
the Vistani
Let's do
didn't
that.
say like you need to bring us this wine within a certain number of days. Like they weren't. No one has pressured you into time on that front.
True. However, just out of character, the Vistani have several boxes in which there was quite a bit of gold, and it could have been kind of useful for us to buy shit.
That's true. They also had a mysterious carpet.
If I've learned anything, that time is very precious here, and maybe we shouldn't just waste a few hours waiting for a car when we could possibly get it delivered later.
Okay, so revised plan, and if anybody disagrees with me, I expect you to give me a very good argument why. We will get the five barrels in the cart now. We will escort them, firstly, to Vallaki. I and Seeker will walk ahead, make sure that the Vistani do not notice us walking past with 5 barrels when they've wanted, 6, and then potentially coming to them with 3 later. En route to Vallaki, we will potentially pick up the message by the Crossroads to understand the state of the place. The plan will be to drop off 2 barrels to the Blue Water Inn with the 2 Martikovs there, whose names I've already forgotten.
Adrian and Elvir.
That's the one, thank you, that just came to me. Adrian and Elvir. And give them 2 barrels, explain the situation, pick up Irina and Ismark, drop off 3 barrels at the Vistani camp to the southwest of Vallaki on the way back, potentially get a small reward for that, and then with some bottles that we'll all also load up on the cart or in our bags, we will escort Irina and Ismark to Krezk. On our way back, we will branch off from the cart and head towards Krezk. The cart will return to the winery.
That
We'll
sounds
take
fun.
Arena, Ismark, wine, and Krezk to somewhere that we know there is something useful.
This sounds like a very hard mathematical equation. Slowly.
Sounds
Only if you disagree.
That sounds good to me.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think it's a good
I
time.
think that's the best.
I think it's like the best compromise we can get.
Yeah, I just think time is something we shouldn't waste, especially in the land of this domain. So I think
Yeah, but I don't think we're wasting, like with Rob's idea, I don't think we're wasting any time. I think we're actually using the time very productively.
Yeah,
No, but
No,
I
no,
mean, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like, not waiting for the last barrel, which is 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
Wait
yeah,
for
okay,
the
yeah.
time. That's what I'm saying. Is that's
We're
what
not
I
planning on
suggest. Which is Rob's made a good plan of. But even now, do this. What Rob just said, because that way we're being very productive with the time, and we're not wasting 2 to 3 hours where a lot of things could happen. Like blights could come, you know, and more, you know.
Yeah. But anyway, that's something.
Okay, so Callum will branch off and talk to the Marticons, whoever he can find, and just say, right, we're going to. We'd like to take 5 barrels now. If you could potentially deliver more to the Blue Water Inn when it's ready, I'm sure 2 barrels will tide them over for now. In the meantime, we have this wild man that we have captured. We would like to turn him over for you, either for imprisonment or interrogation, if you know how, or because he speaks a language that we do not understand. I think the closest thing was primordial to something that he recognised, but it still wasn't quite close enough. I don't suppose you could help at all.
Probably speaking to Adrian, I'd imagine. He will sort of just be like, "Well, we could. The wild men are they're mad, most of them. I don't know what much use we'd have. Keeping him here won't serve much purpose to us, honestly. Probably more trouble than he's worth."
If you had found him without our doing, what would be his fate?
He'd probably be dead already. Sorry, I'm eating my lunch. I wasn't expecting the wagon to be ready so soon.
Oh, your breakfast, you mean? Yes.
Yes,
So,
sorry.
as it's only just after 7
It is
o'clock.
Barovian thing. We don't have breakfast. We just have lunch. Very early lunch.
What are you having for
What about
breakfast?
second lunch later?
What's happening,
yes.
Opal?
We would have probably, I imagine we wouldn't have left him alive originally. Again, the wild men are... They took our home off us, and they would do it again in a heartbeat. One of them out there, more trouble.
I will just poke Ken on the shoulder, like, do we still need to sneak into Vallaki, or should we just not? Or just let them do it? Let people take it.
Say that again, sorry.
So are we gonna still be sneaking into Vallaki, like me and you?
We don't know.
Okay.
We'll need to wait and see what the message says. We've asked the Martikovs to keep an eye out for us so that we don't have to sneak in. But that's obviously plan A.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Just in case, I am going to dress up in some common scarves.
Yeah, you put on those like clothes that you got bought a couple of days before back in Vallaki.
I'm just going to stuff my nice little comfy fur coat, cloak, and put it in my bag.
They are drab, dark, and boring, and easily forgettable.
That's good.
Clothes, but let's go.
All right. After a few, probably by just 10-15 minutes, just getting the horses ready and everything like that. Eventually, the two sort of Martikov brothers will get the wagon ready, get themselves all mounted up and good to go with the 5 barrels, leaving Davian, their wives, and their children behind. Let's make haste then. It's a couple of hours to Vallaki.
Yes, let's. And then Callum will get on one of our horses, and
Seek will
will walk alongside.
Perfect. Yeah, and Seeker's very easily able to keep up. Let's see, as usual. So you're just going to travel straight to Vallaki, no detours?
Yeah,
Correct.
I think so.
Not going on the off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And then stopping off Crossroads with the
How far?
broken thingy to collect the.
How far away?
That will see.
We want to also observe the Vistani. Do you want to do that stealthily, or just from a distance look, see what you see?
Let's make sure. I don't think we need to go too close to the camp. I think we only need to just check if they've got any lookouts and potentially distract them.
Yep. Got it. Oh yes, the Seeker's gonna approach them with spoons, like he did to Strahd.
Callum will talk to the other two and say, if we get to the Vistani camp and we have to speak to them and go off to their camp to distract them from the barrels moving past, then we won't venture far and we will meet you back at the main road. At whatever point we branch off, we will meet you back.
Alrighty, well, let's just see how it is when we get there. Even running with 5 barrels, lovely. Right, and let's see.
Random encounters Strahd von Zarovich on the Trask.
So you travel for about just over an hour and a half, kind of following the still wet gravel road. It's a bit hard going on the wagon and on the horses, but eventually as the path and roads become a little bit more traveled and a little bit more sturdy, you are able to make your way back to the Lunar River Crossroads, which you know quite well, with both Ervil and Adrian sort of traveling along with you. Callan, if you stop and find your small note you'd hidden before and dig it up, you notice it has been visibly disturbed. Someone has been here. You sort of dig it up, you pull it out, and inside there is a sealed letter with a red wax seal, with a symbol that, I mean, you would instantly recognize it. It's the symbol of Castle Ravenloft.
I will try to check it to make sure it's not a trap or something that's going to cause harm, and then open it.
Yeah, if you want to assist, you can certainly assist to help see if you can check for traps for an investigation check.
He'll give you a bird's eye view.
You sort of palm it over as best you can. Nothing stands out. Very strange.
I will suggest to Seeker to stand back just in case, and I will open the letter.
Yep, you open it.
Very well. Yep, he'll...
No anthrax jumps out at you, or anything of the sort. It is a letter, in fact, that you have encountered before. Very, very similar handwriting, very, very similar style. The text this time is slightly different. It probably, instead of saying being the exact same reprint, it literally says something along the lines of, perhaps you have misplaced my original letter, but this one I hope finds you in better health. Please, I bid you come dine with me at Castle Ravenloft. Your journey there will be unimpeded. I await your arrival. Your host, Strahd von Zarovich. And your original letter is gone. The one you left behind.
Mm-hmm.
That is ominous, to say the least.
Isn't it just? Let's keep this in our back pocket for now.
Seems like he really wants to meet us, eh?
It seems as though we are potentially his favourite playthings in this domain that he calls his home, whether by choice or otherwise. And it would make sense for him to try and toy with us as his little playthings, as his distractions from his eternal torment.
Secret that because he's been part of a similar party before that had been brought here, so he would, I presume, get the gist that he maybe does this regularly. Strahd.
Seeker would have received one of these very similar invitations when him and his group were passing it, were planning their thing. Strahd, I don't know if your group ever would have taken up on the offer. Much like this one, there's probably a bit of fear and doubt there. But yeah, it's.
He would get a similar invitation, I presume.
Yeah, he would recognize the handwriting. He's seen one of these before. A similar fare.
I have seen this before when I was... when I first arrived. Back in the day. A long time back. Not sure when.
So it seems as though this is just another way for him to try to torture and torment us. We should maybe keep in mind that we may want to use this invitation at some point for whatever purpose, but for now, we should press on.
Maybe he holds. You mentioned he had good items. Maybe he has the other seed or more things. Didn't you mention bones before as well?
We know that he has items in. We know that he has items in his castle that could be retrieved for the benefit of people in Vallaki. I believe it was. Is it Blinksy?
Yeah, Blinksy wanted that little toy, some great work toy,
There
and
was
also I
the
believe
shopping.
the paladins, the Order of Silver Dragon mentioned that Strahd took the remains of Arkenbost.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the one. So, yes, we may appreciate an invitation, particularly if a journey there would be unimpeded, but we should try to arm ourselves as best we can with artifacts and experience and information before we take up the offer.
I would recommend getting at least one weapon silvered with the silver coins we have.
Yes, for that I believe we'd need the smithing equipment, or to find a smith somewhere who would be willing to do it, but I strongly agree we should make sure to keep all the silver we can.
Maybe in Krezk?
Perhaps.
So we think we live the great axe, aren't we?
Max's glaive.
Oh, sorry, glaive.
Maxim.
Yeah. Yes, okay. For now we should press on. Seeker, come with me. We will keep just at the edge of sight beyond the forest. You should keep so that you can stop with the cart if needed, in case we have any issues with the Vistani wanting more than their 3 barrels that we have assigned them.
What will be a signal to them? Should I let out some animal sound? And he'll start doing like various sounds he overheard in Barovia, mimicking.
Perhaps the call of a raven.
Very well. And he'll do a raven sound. I can't do a raven sound in character, I apologize.
I was looking forward to that.
I was going.
Perhaps leave it to the lifelong mimic, Max.
That's not right. Perfect mimicking.
He's fucked off. Never mind.
He's gone.
Crack on.
Sounds
He's fully gone.
How to screeching bird.
We called him away. Alright, so you're going to branch off first. Then Seeker Callan, one of you guys can make me a zero perception check to see if you can spot any Vistani watching you.
It's just the 2 of them.
Yeah, they've gone up ahead to try to scout out for any.
Because if the Vistani see us rocking up with 5 barrels, they'll be like, "Hey, 5 barrels coming in," and we'll be like, "Nah, bro, 2 of these are for Vallaki."
Alrighty. So you guys are coming in from like the western road, the Old Svalich Road. You sort of like the trees kind of like narrow at first as they enter the small little like valley that Vallaki itself sits in, before widening up again to like where the town have like cut the trees away from their walls to give them that kind of tactical advantage. But it does lend in your favor because you're able to sort of keep the wagon like out of line of sight using that natural narrowing point of the trees. And you're able to sort of go around. And you see the road trailing off to the south, the winding little dirt path that heads up towards the little raised hill in which the Vallaki encampment sits on, surrounded by the small hovels as well. That I don't think you've seen the insides of yet. But you don't see, with a 19, you don't see any watching eyes looking around.
Did Seeker also do a perception check?
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet is kind of shitty.
It's fine.
Not sure why.
That one.
Nope.
I mean,
He's
you probably would be glad to
distracted
see
with some passing bird.
the wolves that watched you as you left Vallaki before seem to no longer be as actively present. At least not that you can see.
Seeker, do the roar.
Max!
No, not the Max roar, the Raven core thing. Oh dear.
I apologize. I can't tell the difference.
Callan's going to cast guidance on Seeker and hope just in case he wants to attempt a performance of any kind, but otherwise...
Seeker,
do your
you
performance
can
check,
perform
fuck
if you
it.
want. See if it sounds like yours or like Max's. 16, yeah, it's pretty good. You get it pretty on point. Yeah, and
Good
you
one.
would all hear down at the wagon the sound of just like just like echoing off in the across the valley.
Seeker and I will keep the distance up, just to make sure that we check out Vallaki first. However, Seeker, you were also kicked out of Vallaki, were you?
I was by the Baron and then by the Council.
Okay, let's make it 3 for 3 now. Okay, we should get in view of the city gates, of the town gates, just to check it out and make sure it's not been reduced to nothing but smouldering rubble.
Maybe we could say that we are the twin brothers of Callan and Seeker, also in Barovia.
I'd rather not try to be my own brother, if that's okay with you, Seeker. Still a little bit sore.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize. Niels, yeah,
You know
he'll-
what?
I didn't realize either. Out of
What about that? But he was the dude who died. Like, it's like,
Mimir,
I'm
it was long.
I'm sorry about your brother. It's like, it was you, dude. Yeah. Who were like, yeah, no, it's fine, and we will try to get a view from a distance of the town and see if anything is amiss. Ideally, without them noticing us. So perhaps we would get off the horse and just kind of creep round any corner or whatever's impeding our view.
Yeah, I mean, like, even on the like final approach to the town, you probably have like a about 700 foot like approach before the actual gates, where there are a couple of small outlying buildings that aren't fully encapsulated by the walls. Most of them appear to be abandoned. It was if like the town was trying to expand at some point, but eventually the wolf attacks probably forced these would-be residents back inside the safety of the walls. So you can tend to use those to sort of like hide behind easily. Like, I mean, even that far back, a guard's not
You
going
wish
to
us
take
to do
much
stealth
notice.
checks?
You can if you want, or you can just go for your natural abilities. Rely on them not being too perceptive. You both kind of like slip down. You can also do me a perception check, you guys. You can do one each. You can do one with advantage if you want to help one another.
You can do it as
I'll
well.
do. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I'll do what someone with bless.
All right. It appears like there are 2 gate guards stationed on the western gate as you approach it. Sunset Gate. And as you kind of like are eyeing up, their patrols, you don't see any. There's like the odd one who comes by every now and again on the wall, but nothing, super intense. The gates are currently open. It's daytime, so they're not locked. You can just come and go as you please. But the guards appear to be taking note of anyone who would be, doing such passage.
Seeker and I will wait for the cart to catch up and discuss the plan.
Yeah.
Out of interest, how tall are the walls?
The walls, it's like a palisade wall that kind of surrounds the whole town. It's 15 foot high, and it's just vertical logs. They're just held together with ropes and mortar.
Vertical surface, you say?
Mm-hmm. But I can't run up those yet.
Ah, shame. Okay. I believe we arranged for the. This is just while the cart's catching up. I'm talking to Seeker on our own, and I said I think we agreed for the Martikovs to keep an eye out for us for this delivery to arrive because they knew that we wouldn't be allowed back in the town. Can you see them anywhere?
Seeker will look round.
Look around for where Evans.
If you're Evans, with your previous perception checks, none that you spot.
I can't see any birds except for myself.
And I would say, whenever you guys were escorting this wagon with the wine, there was 2 swarms of ravens that kind of like perpetually like followed the wagon, like almost like an escort.
Nice. We have the burp squad.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the cart to catch up.
Yep. Doesn't take it long. It's only a couple minutes behind you guys, so now that the call's been made, they will push up forward and join back in. Probably like pulling in just the side of the road by one of the outlying buildings, just out of the like immediate eye line of the guards. Adrian and Elver kind of goes like, "Alright, well, I mean, if you want, we could always go inside unless you're determined to come in with us."
Certainly not determined at all. We were hoping for an out-of-the-walls handoff so that we can spare our abilities for other times. Perhaps if we could unload 3 barrels now and you take 2 barrels into the Blue Water Inn, and we shall await your return.
Certainly. Yeah, Elvel, give me a hand here. And he'll jump off and they'll both kind of like begin unloading. They'll unload 3 of the rear ones, strap the other 2 down, and then climb back on the board and be like, "Will not be too long. Depends how long Erwin wants to chat for. He likes to talk, so."
I will ask, do you want me to go with them and I can disguise myself without using too much magic?
Well,
To get I can't put names out. Ismark and
Arena.
I mean, like, just as a note, Lux, you've seen these individuals' families. You could very easily replicate something like one of their wives, or...
I was just going to plan to become like a normal pub person.
Yeah.
Because I can also cast Disguise Self. It's only a first level slot. So we could go 2-2. You two keep an eye on the wine, and as soon as we know that it's been handed off okay and we've spoken, doesn't matter how long they'll take, we can just do our best with the barrels here. It's not that far to travel.
I'm just thinking because, like, even though Ismark and Aria know Marcos, probably don't know him as trusted.
I mean,
much.
theoretically,
Like him more if we came personally. If that makes sense.
Theoretically, Max could waste one of his reincarnations and become a new person entirely, so he wouldn't be recognized.
Brilliant.
I mean, Max
No.
when enlarged could very easily carry one of these barrels, if not 2 of them.
He only lasts for a minute though, that's the problem.
I mean, with your normal strength as a halfling, you're still, like, you know, a very strong individual. You could carry one of the barrels very
He's
easily.
a strong boy.
Flexing.
Like a very strong toddler.
I can imagine Max, like, Glay just starts liking himself. Like, come on, new life.
It's like, Max, what are you doing? Allow me. Stab.
Wait, what's it? Poisoned Snickers. When you're hungry, you're not eating.
I mean, Max is not very sneaky. I mean, at least there's against advantage because the armor, but he's not very sneaky, is he?
No.
I think Max is going to stay by the barrels until two guys know what's, you know, what situation is inside and stuff. Max is just going to stay by the barrels.
Cool. So yeah, Max and Seeker stay by the barrels. If there's any issues, try and get the attention of one of the swarms of were-ravens, maybe, and we'll ask the Martikovs to kind of, you know, run an assist and be the relay of messages. I know you can do ravens. You were very impressive earlier.
It will be lovely.
It was almost beautiful, but certainly not.
And he'll reply to Callum the same phrase he just said. In his voice.
So are we delivering the
I don't know how to do Rob impression, I'm sorry.
Probably for the best.
Are we doing the Stefania camp first, or are we just going to go straight into it? Valaki?
First Valaki, then Hustani. Right?
We can find that.
Double
We
check.
can find out if we're still
Good.
finished as well.
Just gotta wait for the DM to come back now so we can have our fun. So plan.
Yeah.
Seeker and Max stay with the barrels, keep them safe, use the were-ravens to get a message to us, but most of all, keep your safety. If we can't get the barrels to the standing camp and you stay alive, then prioritise the you staying alive. We will go in, we'll get the barrels delivered, we'll try and get them to, you know, hurry up with the talking, because, hey, we saved the winery, do us a favour and shut up. And then we'll get them to come back out, join up with the cart, join up with the 3 barrels, take that to the Vistani camp, go to the Winchester, have a pint, wait for all this to blow over.
This sounds like a plan. What could go wrong? Right?
Depends what the DM can think up. Cry.
I mean, we are dealing with Opal.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Lawful evil DMing. Honestly, I thought I was a chaotic neutral DM. And then I was like, no, I stick to the rules too much. But I will also do things like ready an action for an Elder Brain when monks are coming around the corner ahead of the group to just go, bop. And then people are like, oh my god, that's lawful evil DMing at its finest. And I'm like, yeah, no, that is me, innit?
Right.
I mean, I am not sure what style of DMing I am. So,
chaotic.
Definitely chaotic.
Chaotic, not good. As in
Wow.
non-good, rather than bad.
Savage.
Right.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
about to say.
You are chaotic and you are not good. Well, please keep running.
He's not the dungeon master. He's a very naughty boy.
Naughty boy. Life of Brian.
So, were you listening into any of that?
I wasn't though. Someone was at the door, so I had to go get it.
No worries. I didn't know if you were doing your whole. I'm gonna have walk around the house with a headset because I can.
I had to go down
Just
an
the
elevator,
floats.
which would have been quite. I think it would be impressive for the Bluetooth to hit that stretch.
True. So the plan is that Max and Zeke are going to stay with the barrels, ideally with some of the Weir Raven swarms up ahead, just keeping an eye and relaying any messages of emergency into the town if needed. Lux and I, disguised, are going to go with the Martikovs as 2 of the other Martikovs to drop off the 2 barrels on the cart to the Blue Water Inn. Callum will do his persuady stuff to make him, hurry up. And then we'll get the cart back out and deliver the rest of the Vistani camp.
Perfect.
I just know something's going to go wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'm not prepared for it.
It's like a gut feeling.
So the most sense that would probably be for you guys to take on the form of Stefania, which is the sister of Adrian and Elvir, and her husband Dag, who you remember he wasn't born into the family, he married into it. So he looked a little bit different, but you can see the resemblance in their children. But he was also aware of it, you believe.
Would it,
Stefania and Dag.
could I not get away with maybe one of the citizens of the...
If you want to just try to become like a regular old, forgettable Valachian, yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, person who works for the Blue Water Inn, are they the regulars? I mean, if not, we can. I don't mind going friends.
Blue Water Inn is a family-run business, so you would be looking at trying to become either Erwin or Danica.
No. That's way too...
What you want to be careful is that you're not pretending to be somebody who's already in Vallaki, who they know is already in Vallaki.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, you didn't leave.
I mean, there are people you recognize, like that you know were in Vallaki. Things like the Wolf Hunters. You probably know their faces.
I'll just stick with the people you mentioned.
Sure. Yeah. So
you be Stefania, I'll be Dag tonight.
So Stefania the female, right?
yes, that's the wife.
Good.
She's the one who's like directly related.
Yeah, I will go. I'm like, excuse me, I just need to go to the toilet real quick, and I'm just gonna go into the trees, and I'm gonna shapeshift.
The usual toilet trick. Again, never gets old.
Testing. Okay, I think it's working.
And you come out. You have like this black kind of raven black hair, these like sunken features, and as you sort of come out, Adrian kind of like looks over Elvir's shoulder and is like, "What, Stefania? How did?
Hi.
Who's watching? Did you follow us?"
While they're distracted, I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself.
Sure. You turn into Dag, and then like weird, okay, and then like looks over and that. Wait, you left Dad home to watch your kids? You know that's a terrible idea, right? He'll just give them wine.
It is cover for us to get into Vallaki.
And then he like kind of puts two and two together. He's like, "Oh Magic.
And I just kind of like
It's like
draw
the
my
confused
staff, like,
confused Pulp Fiction, like.
So in Callum's normal voice, he will be like, Lux, it's probably best if we don't do any talking because we will stand out like a sore thumb.
I
Let's
sounded like
pretend to have sore throats or something. Nothing too infectious. Not in today's climate.
Yeah, that's fine. I mimic the voice as well, so it helps.
Check you.
So you guys are able to like get all aboard the wagon, if you wish, and then you can leave the horses out here with Max and Seeker, and then you can head in all together as a group. Adrian and Elvir will do pretty much all the talking as they approach the gates. One of the guards will make a pass to gun, but like, and here was me thinking we were going to run out of wine. Look who it is. And then Adrian's like, Benjamin, it is so good to see you, my friend. How's the wife? Oh, she's fine, usual fare. And they have a little bit of like that polite kind of banter as the wagon goes through without even putting the brakes on. You're waved through, no problem. The Martikovs are very well liked across Barovia. On your way past the church, that's where you know that Stella, Ismark, Irina are all staying. If you guys want to slip away there, you can, or you can ride the wagon the whole way to the Blue Water if you wanted.
Carry on riding the wagon.
Sure. You kind of travel through town. It's as you remember it, really, like bleak. Like it's kind of, although the Baron is no longer in charge, there is still an air of sadness and just general, just weakness in Vallaki, perhaps. I suppose the thing that you would notice is any signs that were like, plastered upside the building stuff, like Festival Diddler, have all been torn down. And it is a pretty quiet place, realistically, apart from the few people who go about their daily wares. It's still quite early in the morning at this point. It's probably, it's not like encroaching on lunchtime or anything yet. It's probably only around 9 a.m. As you're kind of coming through. So the Blue Water Inn, whenever you arrive at it, is quite quiet. They'll probably pull around the back, like the sort of like side, and like begin hopping off, and they'll bang on one of the side rear door, and you'll just kind of hear like, "Oi, brother, open up!" And after like a little bit of hustle and bustle from inside, you hear the sort of like back door unlocking, and you're greeted with the familiar sight of Erwin Martikov, who kind of goes like, "It's so good to see you, Adrian." And he gives him a hug. He goes like, "Are you okay?" We're fine. A little bit of trouble with the wild men at the Esser Hill, but nothing we couldn't handle. Thanks to a little bit of help you sent our way. I'm glad they got you in time. Stefania? Dag? Good to see you too. Elvir? You're like a bit confused. He probably will. He would embrace Elvir, and he would then go to embrace his sister. Lux.
I give a big old hug, like really squeeze it. Just like,
that's the Stefania I remember.
I think you should. I think you'll notice it's an illusion because it's an illusion. It wouldn't like pass through.
Not an illusion.
Changeling's not an illusion.
Not an illusion.
Oh, he's a
It's an illusion for me, but
changeling.
it's not an illusion for him.
I forgot he's a changeling after he's disguised. Yeah.
Squeeze goes like, "You smell different. You should, been using a new soap."
I'm like, yeah.
And he'll help them unload the barrels, and you see they wheel them into this kind of like small, kind of like back run area, and there's this like curtain that kind of runs along the right hand side of the wall, and he pulls it back. It reveals this alcove that you can then see into the main tavern space. So it's literally like and he swaps out. He takes 2 of the empty barrels, rolls them aside, and they load the 2 new ones on. He was like, "Well, only 2. But there's something happened to the rest of the supply. There's a little bit more fermenting right now. Hopefully we'll have some more for you soon. But we've been out of the winery for several days now, so I think the druids must have destroyed some of the stock, and there's some doubt that they might have poisoned some, so they're just making sure it's all safe before we start moving it out." Alrighty. Well, we still have a little bit of our original stock going, so we should be okay. I have some empties here if you want to take them back. Sure. And they'll load up not quite a full wagon, so he'll be like, I'll only take 3 for now, just go easy on the horses, they've had a bit of a rough time. Okay, is something wrong? We have some for the Vistani to go just outside of town. Don't want them thinking that we're shortchanging them. Alright. And they kind of do a little bit of back and forth. If you guys have nothing to say to Erwin or Danica, then, like, they will say no little more than needs to be said as they go about this very, very familiar, familial discussion.
I have, yeah. I'll let Rob, if you want to speak first, you can speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because on the way in, we would have said, you know, like, I think it might have been when you were away, actually, just saying to him, let's try to keep it to a minimum because we've got, obviously, things on his schedule. So Callum probably wouldn't say anything unless it got into, like, idle chat or just sat around doing nothing, in which case try and chivvy up, but otherwise it'd just be...
I would actually, because I want to know, I'm going to actually go up to Danica because I need to know this. And I'm gonna ask her to talk just a little bit quietly, and I'm just gonna ask about, have you heard anything any more? They can't talk. Do you know any more information about the mage, the powerful mage that came along? Yeah.
Are you talking to? Do you reveal who you really are, or are you going as the guise of Stefania?
If I take her away, I will reveal who I am.
Okay. I mean, like, you can just go in, you know, you've been in the kitchen before, so you can just go through the kitchen, come out the side door. Danica is there tending the bar. The bar, like, there's a couple of people in there, they're having breakfast, but, like, it looks like she's just, like, cleaning and, like, just generally just making sure everything's good. So you can easily lend her ear in the kitchen for a minute if you want to get her out of prying eyes.
I'm alone first, then I'll change back to my other form. And then...
You can do that while Erwin's, like, loading up the wagon and stuff, and she's like...
I would whisper, like, behind the door, like, Danica!
She like glance over and be like, Lux, what are you doing here? And she'll move in and be like, are you okay? Why are you? I thought you were, you know, addicted.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone I'm here.
I'm just wondering.
I just need to know. Your family members at the wineries said you might know about a mage. I'm just wondering if you. They say you know everything, so I just wonder if you know anything. He's really important to me. Yes, his name is Mordecai. I think I just butchered his name again. But I don't think you might know him.
Give Danica advantage because she better. I don't recognize the name at all, but if you're talking about like a powerful mage, there was one who came a while ago. I think he went to. He meant to spend most of his time in Barovia. He tried to rise the people up against the devil. He was not from here, like you lot. I think Strahd killed him. I'm pretty sure Strahd killed him. He got flung out of the castle, if I recall correctly, the way the stories are told.
He can't be dead. He wouldn't die. He's very powerful. He's well known. Can't be dead. And I'm just kind of like really shake. You know when you get like nervously shake, your hands start trembling. I'm like, I'm not going to accept it. Like,
I don't want to give you hope and false hope, but recently, well, not as recently, in fact, but in the last couple of months or so, every now and again there's the fishermen when they used to go out, they would see some crazy man running around throwing lightning bolts from his fingers and stuff at fish, just north of the lake. You'd have to take a boat to get there, or you'd have to move through the forest to get around to the far shore.
Up north.
North, yes. Just a couple of hours.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sorry for disturbing you.
Don't worry, and hide yourself. Don't just walk around.
Okay.
People recognize you here. You made a big scene a few days ago.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. You can go now.
Sorry about that.
Kind of like give her a thumbs up, like you got this. And as soon as she turns around, I'm just gonna go back to the other form.
Yeah, she'll like give you a little shake of her head, like in like stupid boy, and then like open the door back into the bar, and then close it behind her.
This may be impossible, but I'll ask and see if it's possible.
Yep.
I want to try and read their body language, particularly with the whole I'm glad they could help you at the winery thing. Mm-hmm. But generally the ambience of the tavern and the two of them, to see if potentially they have also been subjected to a charm, or if something else has gone wrong as a result.
Sure.
Of
Yeah. If you want to try to work out Erwin or Danica are acting strange, by all means, go for it.
I will just kind of find a moment to give myself some guidance in the corner as well.
Yeah, of course. You get an insight check.
Wow.
14.
14 with a natural 1.
I mean, like,
Ouch.
there's nothing super apparent, but like thinking back to the like townsfolk in the center of the square, like they didn't act super different. Like it was just whenever you guys started attacking Vasily or Strahd that it all became very obvious where their alignments lay.
Okay, I'm going to try something that might be a bit stupid, but I'm going to use Minor Illusion to just have a fleeting glimpse of the face, the visage of Strahd, just kind of pass by a window, so that they just kind of see it out of the corner of their eye.
Sure.
So we want to see how they react, whether it's with fear, as Callum believes it would be if they, as Callum believes it would be if they were normal or with indifference.
Yeah. Both Adrian and Erwin notice like something like moving probably past. I'm just trying to think where you would have placed it strategically. Both could have seen it. The room you're currently in, the wine storage room, doesn't have any windows. You'd probably have to make it like go across one of the windows, like across the tavern, where like they're just seeing it as they're changing one of the barrels over. And they kind of like look across, and like there's a moment of like, and Adrian probably jumps on it first, and like kind of clocks his brother, and it's like, I think that we should be going soon, just in case there's any unwanted eyes around. And everyone's like, yes. I'm going to go check on the kitchen. You can finish up here. Just when you're done, knock on the kitchen door and I'll come bar it shut. And Erwin's going to head back into the kitchen to investigate.
Cool. Callum will not want to do anything to delay any further.
Yeah. About 5 minutes passes and eventually Adrian and El will finish like with the barrels, give a knock on the kitchen door. I'm like, Erwin, we're done out here. And you probably hear Danica call me like, I'll come around and unlock it for you, Diolis. He's just gone out the back. And Danica comes around, bids them farewell. Oh, so good to see you all. And then like you hear the sound of the bar going back over the door that's closed.
Callum's just going to have a little look in the air for any panicked swarms of were-ravens.
Yeah, looking around, there's no panicked swarms. But the ones who normally like, you know, perch on the building or like nearby are definitely all looking around actively. They're not like swarming the skies, they're just all on high alert.
Cool. Yeah, so he will do his best to encourage everyone to hurry the chuff up.
Yep. You guys can get back on the wagon and start heading for the gates again.
Yep, stopping off at the church on the way.
Yep, perfect. You stop off there. It's an Andrel's church once more. The sort of like slouching stone church with a bulging steeple in the back, the cracked stained glass windows kind of like covering the walls with these like pious saints on them, and then the sort of like sad grey graveyard behind it. And yeah, you kind of like encroach in it there. The doors are probably closed at this time. Your muffled voices inside.
Callum will walk in as his disguised self.
They pull the wagon up just outside, and probably leave you guys to go about it and stay with the wagon themselves. So if you two go inside. Whilst you go in, you see Ismark is probably out and about. Irina's not in the main hall herself. She's probably in her room. You see Freak, you see Myrtle, you see Stella and her cat. She also appears to be carrying around like a sort of like small doll you would recognize as one that Max had got for her. Despite her, you know, teenage age, she almost is using it as like a comfort to herself, like a cat kind of like, you know, probably following her around, rather being carried at this point. And she seems to be in her sound mind at this time. And the father, who you'd recognize, is probably this point, just like locking up his little office to the side as you sort of come in. He kind of like jumps a little bit. It's like, yes, how can I help you?
Callan, in his normal voice, will say, Father, forgive me the strange appearance, but it was necessary to briefly visit Vallaki again. It's Callan Olastroy.
Goodness. I would not have recognized you. Please come in, close the door behind you, and anyone could be watching out there.
I don't plan on staying long. We have two of our friends that are currently still outside the gates. We are about to head to Krezk, and we some time ago promised Irina and Ismark to escort them to the Abbey of St. Markovia, and perhaps also take the girl
Stella.
Yeah,
Isabella.
that's the one. We also promised to take Isabella over there to potentially get her some more long-term healing.
Yes, I recall. Are you going to be making the journey in one day? I can give her a casting of Lesser Restoration a bit early now, but it should help offset any possible risk or delay.
Yes, we'll be heading straight there.
Perfect. Stella, if you could come here, and he'll call over. He does a short prayer, and he casts Lesser Restoration on her. He goes like, they're going to take you to the Abbey of St. Markovia, and hopefully they're going to fix you for good. That would be great. I'll just get my things, and she'll hurry off into one of the small guest rooms that she's kind of staying in.
Go back.
I'll just tell him, but if it makes you feel at ease, I can do something very similar to that. And so, if she needs a top up, I guess I could top her up.
That would be marvelous. It tends to work for only about 12-hour periods.
I see.
In case you get delayed or. Yeah. Ismark will probably overhear the conversation and approach over him like, Alan?
That's me.
Looking a little bit different. Much more
That's the
Barovian.
plan. Thank you. That such was the aim. Yes, since our last visit time in Vallaki, we figured it best that on this occasion, when we returned, it would be best to not be ourselves.
I could see how that would make sense.
Thank you.
I assume that means that we're good to go.
Yes, we are about to head to Krezk. And yes, we'd like you to come with us if you are still willing and able.
Definitely. I'll get Irina, and he's going to go into the sort of like front room that they've been staying in. And then you hear, Ismark, what is it? They're here? Well then let's go, come on. Let's get these things packed, let's get out of here. And eventually you see Ismark and Irina both dressed in their armor, weapons, ready for the road. Backpacks on their back. Stella joins them at your side. She probably has a small kind of like fabric like cat carrier basically that someone has fashioned for her. So she can take buttons with her. And if you inquire about it, she tells you that it was one of the more quiet members of the Vallakian Council whose name is escaping me right now.
Yeah, when they come out, I'm just gonna wave at them like, "Hi, it's me again." Like trying to make it kind of obvious, but it's not obvious. But it kind of really is obvious who it kind of is.
Yeah, they're probably a lot more thrown because you're a woman. I think with the Callan, like they either think they probably don't immediately think magic, like it's just like a very good disguise, or like is that little moment of doubt, I guess would probably be the appropriate term. Let's see, Vallakian Council. Yeah, so it would be Monica, the baker, made it for her, like with like an old like few burlap sacks, potato sacks she had, which allows her to transport buttons around with her easily. And yeah, she will join you. They'll all say their thanks to Father Lucian in turn. And he bids you all good luck, and as you leave, he's like, and may the Morning Lord watch over you.
Quick question. Did I miss? Is she aware that this is the party that was exiled by the council?
Yeah.
Stella is.
And is she fine with it, or due to
Is
the
anything
charm?
specific?
Sure, thank you.
When we get in the wagon, I'm just going to talk to Stella and try and be really friendly with her. But I said, tell me all about your cat. How much do you love buttons? And I'll ask her to tell me stories about buttons and, you know.
Yeah, I'd say
That'd be
it's
very
similar to
fun.
how she kind of clings to Irina. In the form of Stefania, she definitely kind of clings to you as well. Like, it appears like any kind of big sister or motherly figure is like really appreciated by Stella. And she's just like, yes, this is Buttons. He's only about 3 years old, so he's still quite young. He was my mother originally, but he was a little bit, rebellious. He used to get out a lot, so I ended up taking after him a little, and it's like chatting away to you. And eventually, you all waved out for the gate guards once more. They don't seem to take much notice about. They probably take note of Stella leaving, but they don't make a real note of it. I think they probably recognize at this point Ismark and Irina because they've been there for so long now. Like, the few, like, nearly a week that they've been staying here. Like, they have been seen around town, especially with the slight association with you guys and your doings. They're probably keeping an eye on them, so it is definitely noted. But they don't impede your travel.
I was going to suggest getting Stella in one of the empty barrels to try and
You
smuggle
could
her
do
out.
if you want to smuggle her out, you can.
This is giving me Hobbit vibes.
But yeah, but you, regardless of whatever route you take, you are free to leave. Travel just outside the gates, doesn't take you long at all. And at this point, it's probably around, like, say, like, if you arrived around 9, traveling all the way there. I mean, like, yeah, it's probably coming up around, like, 10 a.m. at this point, at like, this kind of a time. And you all regroup.
So I say, right, we should press on to the Vistani camp. How about we leave the empty barrels somewhere just at the edge of the road, so that they don't question why we're bringing empty barrels if they're the only delivery.
Agreed. That sounds like a reasonable idea. Maybe we could leave them in the forest nearby and hide them under leaves, branches, dirt, etc.
I don't think empty barrels will attract too much attention or want of burglars. Because
you never know. This is a strange place.
Isn't it just? So Callum will just say just a bit off the tree line. Just mark.
Yeah, just in the trees a
You can
bit.
stash them pretty easily. They're not just two or three empty barrels easily done. And then you can head down to the Vistani camp if you wish.
Well, while we stash the barrels, I'll probably take a little bit longer than normal to stash my one. Like, as if I'll take the last one, I'll place it down, and that's when I'll get changed. And
Gonna have a cheeky sip, are you?
cheeky little. No, because I'm just getting changed back into my normal cloak and comfortable clothes and revert.
Right.
Yep, so Lux returns to Lux. Callan, I assume you... At this point, Callan, your aura of disguise self probably would be coming to its natural close anyway.
I'd be dropping it once we're outside the guards.
Yeah, and then you've got the wagon already. You're all fully regrouped. Ismark and Ina have much to discuss and be caught up on. But they are glad to be back with you all. And Irina seems excited to be leaving Vallaki behind. And in the hope to getting somewhere truly safe. And yeah.
Callum will briefly explain the plan to them. We're dropping 3 barrels of wine off to the Vistani camp, as they may have some things that can help us, or some coin. And then they will be heading off to Krezk with the bottles that we've got in the cart as well.
Good thing. Let's
Which would, rather than being on the cart, we'd probably stash them in our own backpacks and things, because we've probably got less than a dozen.
Oh, is there a spell that can change the flavor or the look of something? Like
Prestidigitation.
I mean, like, but like for a long time, or just for like a minute.
I thought prestidigitation is long term. Isn't
it lasts like an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
You were saying like alter self, which changed yourself for a while.
I was gonna say, like,
Water's
get, just if I was like an evil character, I was gonna say, just fill up the fucking barrels of water, just use prestidigitation.
That's a full metal alchemist.
That's like the drug deal that's a load of flour with just a very slight covering of other white powder.
Well, if I was a cleric, I could do create food and drink.
What? Wait, but drink is water.
Yeah, it's barely nourishing. It's fairly tasteless. It's nutritious, but nothing amazing.
Yeah,
you
it's basically
a very good hero's feast for anything like that.
Yeah, and I'm saying like just so I could tell them like, well, I've got 6 barrels. Yeah, it's just just do like double barrels, like some fake wine.
I think we've made enough enemies while we've been here. Let's not.
I was about to say,
or just for our own greed.
Also, create food and water would be like, we'd give them a few barrels of fucking porridge. I mean, maybe they'd like it.
Right, and you guys are going to be approaching the Vistani camp. So, are you all going to be going, I think, this time?
Callan will certainly be in the lead. Happy for anybody else to do whatever you want.
Oh, I will join since I've spent time with him. So
I guess we'd all go, to be honest.
plus, if we get reward, I can detect any magic.
Oh, I forgot to open the map again. I closed my fucking browser.
I think we should all go, to be honest. I mean, we'll let Callum do the talking, but I'm sure we'll all go together.
Yeah, look, if you can get your magic eyes open, that'd be very handy.
Start humming, and then I will cast detect magic.
Good thing.
Also, I wanted to ask if we could call. How long were we? Sorry. If we would call a short break, because again, my food will be arriving if you're all fine with that.
Yeah,
like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine. I can call a little break then.
Anytime soon. I'm not really sure. The
So
app, it's not telling me when precise. Thank you. Or see you.
Alright, you guys make your way to the Vistani camp. Marvelous.
Marvelous.
While Reset Magic is being ritual cast. Just to cover us. Oh no, you do it normally, can't you? I'm going to ritual cast Detect Poison and Disease on the few minutes there if I've got time.
Your thing?
It's
Yeah,
not
it won't take you too long to get there.
Concentration, but it's up to 10 minutes.
It's like 15 minutes or so. Just to get down there. But yeah, you rock up. You see the very familiar sight. It is this kind of like expansive clearing, the small grass-covered hill with low houses built into its sides. Fog kind of still hangs around, obscuring most of the details. But you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork and have decorative lanterns hanging from their sculpted eaves. Atop the hill above the fog is a ring of familiar barrel-shaped wagons that surround that large tent with a column of smoke still pouring out through the top. Even though the kind of like dim, drab mid-morning light is still washing over Barovia, there is still that red-orange glow of fire coming from within.
Callum will announce his presence. Trying to keep the tone a little light.
I suppose the first individual you would see as you're kind of walking up to the main tent itself where you've been before, is there's this kind of like shadowed figure about 30 foot from the path, just to your left, standing at the doorway of one of these kind of like hovels. This like grey cloaked figure standing there.
He'll hold a hand up and wave, sort of palm front and empty.
He kind of he gives you a small nod and goes like, "Are you okay? Can I help you?"
We've visited previously. We returned a missing girl here that we found on the lake. We had a brief discussion about a wine delivery that had been lacking recently, and we are here to rectify the situation.
I'm sure the Vistani will appreciate that. Sure. They'll kind of look at you all. You were able to help out Ariel before, but perhaps you should go see Casimir. His hovel is on the south side, the southernmost side of the hill. Should maybe go speak to him if you have time.
Certainly. What do you know? What's the matter?
He leads us. And he kind of like gestures to himself. And now that you look at him, he's not human. That's an elf, Callan. He has elf ears. That's weird.
Realizes he's going to be fucking buzzing because he gets to speak Elvish in a moment. So we're like, what's the matter exactly?
It is a long story, but I believe that Casimir, he is planning on going on a journey. He said to keep the eyes open in case you came back after what Aragol mentioned you had done for him and Arabelle. You should speak to him.
In common, he'll say we will, and in Elvish, he'll say thank you for your time.
Yeah. He'll reply in Elvish and be like not rusty, because I think he does still speak it a fair bit. But he replies and is like, thank you for listening, and then and it goes back to doing his duty of guarding this way.
Okay. We will continue.
Is there anything magical on him?
On the Dusk Elf Guard? No.
I'll just start humming, but nope, not magical. I'm like,
And you make your way up the sort of winding path up towards the ring of these barrel-topped wagons with a large tent in the middle. Similar to before, like the Vistani here are almost always drunk. But yeah, they like you hear sounds of like sleeping people in a few of the wagons and just a general sort of jovialness coming from the main tent. Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of up to you guys. Who's going in first? Callan gonna lead the way in?
Oh yes, he's going to cast guidance on himself. In fact, no, he's already got poison in the seed up.
I think I'm going to stay.
He's going to drop that. He's going to cast guidance before he goes in.
I'm going to stay by the wagons to make sure they don't try and think flight of the wagon. Try to steal from us, temper reverse them.
Yeah. As you kind of like step inside, the like heavy, thick like smoke, although it's like leaving sort of via this kind of like hole in the center of the tent, it does still trap some here in the main tent itself. And you just hear those people laughing and stuff, and you know they are doing all right. You imagine, and you see Luvash and Aragol are kind of sat talking together fairly intensely, but there are like, you know, clusters of Vistani kind of littered around, and you see just like stacked up by the entrance there's these like empty barrels and like bottles and things all just chucked out the entryway just in a big pile. And as you sort of like announce your presence, probably Luvash kind of turns around and he's like, "Oh, if it is not our saviors, please come join us, come join us." You look around. You don't see Bluto anywhere. Man who last left here.
Yeah, unsurprised, but we'll try not to let that emotionally affect me too much, lest my sword have something to say about it. And I'd be like, I realise it may be a little early in the morning for a celebration, but we have brought a small gesture of a refill of wine, a delivery from the Wizards of Wine winery, that we hope will be able to tide you over. They've had some difficulties in production. We've managed to rectify that for the meantime, and hopefully everything should be back on schedule.
All right. Make me a persuasion check.
I can hear you, Kazmas.
Thank you. Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Internet's being weird.
6.
I'll keep guidance up. I won't use it on that.
Kind of like looks at you and goes like, "Well, I think we are running quite low, so I guess a half shipment will have to do for us." Come, Aragel, let's get these things unloaded. And he'll get up and he'll begin heading out towards kind of like where you guys have pulled up your wagon.
We figured that a half shipment would be better than no shipment. That's why we've travelled a couple of hours to come back and deliver you this wine.
Certainly. Well, for that, I think that we can give you half a reward. Let's see here. And him and the Luvash will once again go unlock their treasure wagon. And they'll begin kind of like looking through it, like humming.
Do I see anything magical? I'm looking at it. It's like kind of peeking over the shoulders.
When he unlocks the padlock, is the padlock magical?
They just appear to be regular locks, but they require 2 keys. Each of them carries a different key each. So you need both of them to unlock it. I recall last time you guys took a... I don't remember what exactly you took. I think you took the iron chest.
Yes.
So the iron chest is not there. So inside you would see a wooden chest, an onyx jewelry box with gold filigree. Something inside that glows with some sort of magical essence lux. You would see it as enchantment coming from within the box. Then there's the wooden throne with gold inlay and decorative stones. Rolled up 10-foot square rug with an exquisite unicorn motif, which does not give off any magic. And there is also a wooden box, an open-topped wooden box containing 12 silver-coloured potions, which do not appear to give off any magical aura at all. And they kind of look through, and him and they go, let's see here.
I will point to Callum, point to the magical one, like, maybe ask him, that one.
Yeah, Callum would happily comply.
And I would like, do you
Trust
want
him,
to
Callum.
Because I'm okay at talking, but not as good as you. I mean, I love talking, but not that kind of talking.
I understand, yes. So Callum will be like, for half a shipment, I certainly wouldn't be expecting a full reward. But what would you be happy for the arrangement to be here?
We were just discussing perhaps we could give you the contents of the jewelry box. The jewelry box itself is worth a fair bit, but there are a few bits of jewelry and things in there. You could just have it. They'll just open it up. And they pull out 6 pieces of fairly cheap-looking jewelry. You imagine they're probably worth somewhere in the region of like 50 gold pieces each. Notably, none of them are made of silver. Sadly, they're all like made of gold or electrum or copper. Maybe even one made of like one very small necklace, like a bracelet made of like platinum. And then they also pull out a potion bottle with a red liquid in it in a crystal vial. And the vial itself looks like it's probably worth quite a lot of money the way it's cut. It's probably worth about 100 gold. And then obviously whatever's in that vial is radiating magic. Lux.
Oh, I'm like, vial has got a lot of magic. What kind of magic is it?
It's enchantment.
No, it's enchantment magic in that vial. Was that the same thing from the other one? Was that the magical thing I pinged from earlier? Or was that a different one?
That was the one inside the jewelry box that you pinged.
Yeah. But that's it. That one.
Yes, I mean, I'd be certainly happy to. Yeah. Yes, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for your generosity. We were mostly doing this to make sure that we maintained yourselves as allied in the area. It's always good to make friends wherever you go, especially in a new place. But I'm sure that this will see us well on our journey.
I should hope so. And they'll give you the lot of it. So that is 6 pieces of jewelry. I'll put this down for you guys, and you can distribute it however the fuck you want. One potion unlabeled. I mean, like, would you guys just taste the potion to like work out what it was? I assume, so I can give.
Yeah.
It's a potion.
Either now.
Seeker wood.
Yeah, it's a potion of basic healing, but it's I'll just put it in GP crystal vial. Just a potion of healing, and then the vial itself that it's in is worth 100 gold pieces.
That is nice. Also, out of character, I'll need to break in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll put it in Crossroads.
Yeah. Gosh. Cool. And they'll be like, well, thank you so much for the wine. If you find the rest of the barrels, we'll give you the box.
Yes, certainly the winery is hoping to be back to full production very soon once they've just corrected their flow, their manufacturing process. But who knows? Maybe we'll be around to help them with the deliveries. But they should, all being well, should be back up and running. But for now, thank you for your continued generosity. We should make tracks. We are heading west.
Well, safe travels on the road.
Thank you. I'm gonna be when he mentions West.
Unload all the wine. Please, Alex.
Speaking of, when Ken mentions West, I was going to speak. But speaking of that, I do need to talk to you and the other three about something. Other two. About something.
Certainly, we'll have quite some time on the road to talk.
Okay. Okie dokie.
While we going through this and getting awards and stuff, I will go to the parks. It's like, has anyone seen Pluto anywhere? Does anyone know what happened to him?
No, and to be honest, Max, I think it's best if we don't address that directly. Out of character, I've forgotten the name of the person who was at the hovel at the south of the camp.
It was Casimir. They told you to seek out.
How could I forget the name Casimir? Yeah, so Cam will say one thing before we go. We heard that Casimir hasn't been doing so good lately. What's going on there?
Casimir is an old man, sad. Just don't even worth your trouble. They lock up the treasure wagon. They unload all your wine. Lug it into the... Have a few, like, small of it standing, lug it into the tent for them.
Could I insight check that to see if that really is
Sure.
what they think is the matter?
Yeah, could I do that too, actually?
Can everyone insight?
Luxwood.
24.
Happily help. Even though it's a spell slot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just trying to, like, sort of, like, summarize, like, you know, what he thinks. I think that Luvash, like, definitely does just think Casimir is a sad old man. Like, yeah, that is... He doesn't... He does, like, yeah, he's not worth your time. That's as far as he's concerned, just a sad old man.
Callan will be like, do you mind if we go speak to him? My own grandfather, with us coming here, has been left alone at home. I can't help but feel a little empathy towards those who are elderly, and I think it would do me good to see an older face and perhaps make them smile. Which is complete bullshit, by the way.
Sure. You do me this general deception check then, if you want to try to swing it that way.
Avery, what are you doing to me lately?
Is it another nat 20? No. Like yesterday, like 6, so don't complain.
Yeah, I know. I've burned on my luck. Did you see me in the play-by-post earlier?
No.
I had disadvantage. I was DMing, disadvantage on an attack roll, got a crit hit.
What the shit?
Wow.
Yep.
What's the chance?
1 in 400.
He doesn't seem to pick up on your lie. He's not actively trying to. He's going with what he passively knows. And he's good. And there, he's just like, go right ahead. I'll not get in the way. You might have some trouble with his guards, though.
his guards?
The Dusk Elves keep their own guards at their doors. Don't worry about it. All bark, no bite these days.
Very well. Thank you for the warning. And we will head out and head towards there.
Yep. You start heading south. And as you sort of encroach this hovel, it is very similar to the one that you'd seen kind of before. As you kind of like all group in there, you see standing outside it at this particular one, there are 3 of the similar guards of those like grey cloaks. And you see there's the they're like sullen, like angular features, and they all have this like black flowing hair half hidden under their coils that they have up. Then they're all kind of standing quietly in front of this little hovel as you approach.
Callan will head up and say, I'm here to inquire about Casimir, a gentleman to the north of the camp. Asked if we could stop by. We may be able to help.
They kind of look at you. Are all of you together at this point?
Yes.
Callan might be a little like 5 or 10 foot ahead, but yeah, we're together.
You're all sitting together. I'll say that the Martikovs will stay with their wagon and just getting it ready to go. Probably with Ismark, Irina, and Stella as well. They kind of like look at you all, just kind of go like, "Oh, come on in," and they'll stand aside. One of them will knock on the door on your behalf, and eventually you hear from inside, "Enter!"
We will enter.
You see, inside this space, it is a fairly quaint little area. A long kind of like curtain and tapestry kind of overhangs in front of the door, and a figure is just standing up and pulling it aside. And you see this fairly imposing figure. He is a Dusk Elf, which Callan may not specifically recognize what a Dusk Elf is, but he does recognize it is some sort of subrace of elf. This individual, he looks fairly aged, kind of like his face, clearly, although being an elf, he is very much a, yeah, like, he has seen centuries, Callan, like, that is without a doubt, just based on, like, the way his skin kind of falls about his face. The hovel is a well-decorated little vestibule. It's a comfortable room. There's a fireplace, which is currently burning as well. You see wooden statues of elven deities in cubby holes along one wall, and a tapestry of forest kind of hangs up on the other wall. And as you kind of, like, enter, this man introduces himself. He goes like, "I am Casimir Velikov. Who might you all be?"
My name's Callan, and these are my friends. There was a gentleman just to the north of the camp as we arrived who mentioned your name and asked us to stop by. The reason, I must admit, I'm somewhat at a loss, but we may be able to help in some way, perhaps.
I could hope so. You are strangers to this place, I think.
We certainly are. Before here, we were strangers to each other, almost.
Somewhat stranger to this place. Been here for a while.
Stuck here then, I suppose, like the rest of us.
So it may seem.
For now, certainly. Hoping to address that, but hope is a thing that appears few times, and those times seem to be far between as well.
Perfect, yeah. Then perhaps you could help me. Go ahead, Max.
Does this man look more like a noble, like a warrior, or like what?
I would say,
like a high-ranked officer, or like a high-ranked noble, or someone of like, or what kind of importance, like, do you think he would look like to? He would appear to us.
I would say he appears to come from somewhat of importance, but you imagine it is kind of like how the mighty have fallen. He is definitely no longer on that horse, that high horse that he probably once wandered on. Let's see here. Yeah, and he'll kind of like look at you. I think
how long has Sigurd been in here again? Is it 10 years, Sigurd? How long have you been in Borovia?
quite a decade.
Thereabouts.
He's not sure how long it's been.
Yeah, for like he's slowly been losing his mind. He's like been wandering from place to place. It like all goes together. He's not really sure.
Fine.
And Casimir will kind of like him and haw as you like. He was like, perhaps that you could help me. I have recently been burdened by dreams sent to me by my sister, Katrina Velikovna. She is passed a while ago, but her spirit languishes underneath Castle Ravenloft. It has been there for centuries. I think that she has repented for her sins, and I wish to free her from that prison. And if I can, I wish to restore her to life. You help me in this endeavor, perhaps?
How would you wish to restore the dead to life?
First, we would have to get rid of Strahd. But there is a place, the south, maybe even more east of here, hidden in the mountains. It's a place called the Amber Temple. There are great many secrets hidden there. Perhaps we could...
I tried to get into the Amber Temple once with my friends. It was snowed in, and we didn't manage to get inside, sadly. But I think you said he would have knowledge.
Yeah, you know, you've been there before, but you've not been in.
We didn't manage to enter. It was snowed in or something.
You needed like equipment to get in there. You should have brought like shovels
basically.
and.
Yep, and then they died.
I think that is what might hold such a secret for me.
So just to confirm, partly out of character, but let's keep the voice. Your wife, Petrina Velikovna, has passed away. She's sending you... Sister. Oops.
She was Strahd's betrothed, and he killed her.
Oh.
In a few less words.
She's been sending you dreams, or visions in your dreams, rather. Her spirit lies under Castle Ravenloft, and you need us or people to go to the Amber Temple to the east to seek out the secrets. Is that right?
I would come with you, but yes. I do not wish to do such a journey alone, and the Dusk Elves, well, it is a terrible thing what happened, but
Sounds like necromancy to me.
And what about the abbot in Krezk? Can't he bring people back as well?
There are certain restrictions, and Callan would presumably know this because obviously bards have access to these. There are certain restrictions on what magic can do. Sometimes we need a willing, somebody who's willing to return. Sometimes it needs to be within a certain time scale, or we need certain materials, or we need to have someone's body or spirit, depending on the nature of magic. If there are secrets involved, it seems as though that would be the place to start. But as he kind of turns to the group a bit more to discuss plans with a knowing nod to everyone, he's going to be like, well, you see, Casimir, we are currently heading west to drop off a couple of people and pick up some information. And then we'll be heading east shortly afterwards, heading back east. I'm sure as we continue along this As we head back east, we will be able to stop in and come to the Amber Temple with you. It should only be a few days at the most.
Very well. I shall linger here a little longer, but I will have to make the journey soon. If the dreams persist, I fear I will not be able to rest until this task is completed.
If you could write down or otherwise note the details of the dreams, however small, it may help us both with your sister and also to, in our own quest.
Very well.
In my experience, those who have passed on have a great deal of knowledge that they do not always wish to keep to themselves, even if we do not necessarily recognize it within our own mortal thoughts.
You do have to understand how horrible a man Strahd is. Whenever my sister was damned, he came to this camp and he butchered every single woman of my people. Now, we watch as our race slowly dwindles here in these lands. We cannot leave. I would wish to see that ended, and I would wish to see my sister restored to life.
I understand. Dealing with one's own mortality is one thing, but to consider it for your entire family and your entire line is something that I would not understand. I myself I have mixed parentage, human and elf, so my line in a way will only continue getting diluted. I will certainly do my best, and I'm sure my friends will also, to help you keep your line continuing.
Very well.
We will do what we can.
I will be here for a few more days. But again, if you do go towards the Amber Temple, I may already be there, awaiting your arrival. Or I may already be inside. Or I may still be here.
When we stop by, and it is a when, not an if, but when we stop by, I will make sure to, well, if you're not here, we will make haste and make sure that you are not there alone for too long.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope that a journey such as that would not simply be selfish in the fact it would only gain for myself. I wish to leave this place. Katrina thinks that whatever power Strahd has, it must come from that temple. Based on what she's told me.
I understand. It seems as though every new place we visit gives us a couple of answers and many more questions. It would be nice to keep working through the list that we're developing in only our few days here.
I will take no more of your busy time then. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. I wish you well, and he'll say he'll kind of say farewell in Elvish and head out.
He acknowledges it the same way. Step back out into
Can
the...
I make an insight check to know
Sure.
If I can sense like there's some of the motives behind what he's trying to say, what is, it's like, just see if we can pick up something good about this guy.
Sure, just for like the general conversation? Sure thing.
Yeah.
The 12 max. He lingered a lot on the point where he talked about how Strahd had killed his sister. But like, you don't think... I think that you don't think that Strahd necessarily directly did that action himself. He didn't swing the sword, but it was more like Strahd forced her death to happen, either by Strahd ordering it or someone else did it to prevent something Strahd was doing, etc., etc. I would think he's like, yes, Strahd killed her, but he's like trying to justify it to himself, but you don't think Strahd actually killed her.
Fine. After we move away from the conversation, I'll share that with the party members.
And when you share that, I'm like, I'm just gonna say this now. I could be overthinking it, maybe, but I don't want to go there just yet because you told me about how we we will find him in a father's tomb, and that kind of sounds like a place could be, maybe. And maybe the father's tomb could be him because he could die there, so it could be his father's tomb because he's the father. No, he's his sister. But
oh my god, I'm confused than I was before. You just confused me even more.
As am I.
I like your
let's stick to
plan.
Yeah, stick to the plan. I think this place. Yeah, I think this place, like Secret has been there in the past, and it sounds like a treacherous place. I don't think we are
I'm just saying,
well equipped to go there at this moment. However, I think it's probably a place of interest in the future.
Did
I'm just
Secret do a
saying
history
that
check
Strahd might be waiting for
if he knows anything about it? Sorry.
Go ahead, Lux.
Oh, I was to say, I just think Strahd might be waiting for us there. A high chance,
Okay.
possibly.
Seeker, you can do it. What are you trying to do a history check about? What are you looking into? Trying to remember.
About like what he overheard about the temple, because I know he couldn't enter with the party, so just like what they may have gathered before they went their way over there.
Sure.
Trying to remember the on it.
Did you say this guy is the last Dusk Elf?
He said that all the women of their clan were killed. And they're the last of the
There are more
Dusk Elves.
Dusk- there are
They
more
said they were
Dusk.
the last of the Dusk. He said they were the last of the Dusk Elves, and we're slowly watching our race dwindle out. Seeker, you kind of like, think back to your time at the Hammer Temple. I mean, like, it was on a kind of like craggy like side of the mountain. Like, it was all heavily snowed in, as if like an avalanche had come down on top of it. It would have been quite an ordeal to get through. The reason why you guys were going there was because you had heard there might have been ways to like weaken Strahd or something, but like it was whenever you got there that you would have died of exposure if you'd like tried to clear through that much snow in what you were all equipped with.
He would inform the party of all of this. Cool.
So what's next?
I'll probably look at Callum. I'll be like, Callum, I think we should. I think our time is done. I think we should keep moving.
I agree.
To Krezk, we go.
To Krezk.
So
Very
I missed
well.
that. Do we have Arena and we don't have Arena? Is Mike with us?
Yep.
Okay.
Sweetie, pick them up. You even have Isabella
Yeah, and Isabella.
and Stella. They're free characters now.
Bella.
Yeah. I'll go over to Bella. A bit. She doesn't know that I'm Max, does she?
No,
That's some official.
you met her last time. Yeah, she was very
Oh, I
confused.
did. Yes, I did.
But she does recognize you as
Yeah.
Max. Hello, Max.
You can play ball
Oh,
now.
yeah. Hello. So I kind of like. I was gonna say I knew, but I don't think I have to.
You're probably shorter than
Yeah.
her. You're like 4 foot, like 4'6", 4'7".
Yeah, I was like, hello, Isabella. How are you getting on? How's the little kitty?
I'm doing okay. Buttons is fine, and I'm also fine. Hopefully the abbot will be able to help me. That is what Father Lucian said.
I'm sure they will, Isabella. I'm sure they will.
Kurt?
You're a very brave little girl.
Thanks.
We're gonna get through this.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without you, Max.
Don't worry, Isabella. I'm gonna be there the whole way. Until it's my promise to you. I'll make sure this curse is lifted.
And then
I'll
like
give it to
as Max kind of steps away, she turns to like Irina, and Max just kind of like, as Max hit his head, he kept calling me Isabella. I think he's making a mistake again. And Irina's just like, it's okay. Max gets hit on the head a lot. Sometimes he forgets things. It's not anything personal.
Matt's got dementia.
And I was like, he got hit on the head a lot when we was at the one place.
He got Katzheimer's.
Katzheimer's.
Fucking hell.
Quick question: could Secret try to insight anything on this? I guess he wouldn't. Like I was about to ask you if you would like try feeling any distrust from Max after what happened in Barovia Wacky.
Distrust? What?
Well, I mean, like she was charmed. You know, like if the thing is still up, if like. If the thing...
Oh, you're trying to like insight Estella? Sure, you can do an insight check if you want.
Isabella? Is it Stella? Could you just change your character to Isabella, please? Fucking.
It's Stella Wagner.
If we change your character to Isabella, you're gonna start calling her Stella. I know it.
This is when there's like there is an Isabella in the module somewhere, you know.
I'm gonna end up calling her Stella.
23. Seeker. I would say for 23, she hasn't like said anything or give anything away like that would make it very obvious, but yeah, she's not acting quite like herself.
I'm not sure what Secret do with that information because he like doesn't know the character. Yeah, I don't know. I'll flip a coin. One is Max Twist Callan. Max, once we set off, like after when we start riding, Secret walk up to Max like whispers like, I think that I was not Isabella, Stella. I think that Stella is acting a bit strange. Maybe it has something to do with what happened in Wallaki at the square.
You wouldn't be surprised. I thought it drugs. Oh, shit.
Drugs.
What? Stella's doing drugs? What?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, we are casting less restoration on her.
I mean, she's but a child, so I mean, she's not a child; she's like a teenager. Isn't she? She's like, oh,
she's like 16.
Yeah, I think she's a young lady, so.
Who knows?
So there's a lot. She's been through a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised. You know, she's acting the way she is.
Wanted to let you know.
No more.
You seem close.
Don't worry. I'll keep a close eye on her.
Okay. After that, I will ask. For the first time, you can see Lux be a little bit more serious. No smiles, whatnot. And he's gonna ask. I appreciate all the company you guys have been giving me. And I know I've helped a bit, just a bit. But after we do this, and I do really need to go north. I heard Danica told me about where my master might be, and I need to know if he's okay. Apparently, there's a mad wizard by the lake, or something, throwing lightning bolts, and I do need to do this. Where I'm happy to help you guys out as far as I can, but I might need to depart soon. Even though I'm not as strong as you guys, I think I could do something, maybe.
We heard about it. Mad Ridge, north of Vallaki. I'm sure we could swing by on our way back east to check out the area, because I think there's also a den of wolves that is in that vicinity that we could potentially also investigate on our way back.
Is there a test? Is there a check you can do to discern if werewolves, like if werewolves will leave with the wolves and stuff, like if they're related, like if there's a potential of where there's wolves, there could be werewolves and stuff.
I mean that would be probably like an Arcana check.
Oh God, God help me.
Oh no, our fighter is doing an Arcana check.
Does anyone know anything about werewolves and wolves? Help?
They bark at us and bite.
Anyone give me good advantage on my beautiful arcana check?
Nice.
And
Take some guidance, but I'm not going to help you. It's like,
I'll be like, oh, nice shape change.
No, there you go. Good advantage.
Yeah, you can have a help from your friends.
Oh,
They brainstorm.
Goddess likes bless. Let's put bless in this.
this is
GUI. It's
Oh, fuck yeah. Look at that fucking... Look at that. Werewolves. I've fought many werewolves in the past. I
So
know everything about werewolves.
Max doesn't, because that's where the help comes in. Max is like
quick
theorizing.
question. I got. Because he's a halfling, he can re-roll that one.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
on, Max. Show us that second nat 20. From
Come on,
Lunar.
roll over
God.
d20. Let's see what Max actually knows.
Gonna be it. Oh,
That's-
close.
That's pretty good.
Close, though.
Yes, you know a fair bit on your own, Max, and then like with your friends helping out, you're able to fill it out. Werewolves are lycanthropes, so they can take essentially 3 forms, and you would especially know that with the were-ravens. They can either take like a true like beast form, which in their case would be a wolf, or they can be a hybrid form, which is that traditional like on 2 legs werewolf that we know, and then it's the humanoid form, which is the form they normally were when they are cursed. It would mean that, like, if they were in a wolf form, they could do things like travel with a pack of wolves, especially if, like, you know, in Barovia, what you've seen is Strahd controls the wolves. Strahd seems to be able to control the werewolves, so, like, it wouldn't be impossible to imagine that, much like regiments in an army, he could probably, you know, command them to do things in a similar fashion. Just because there are wolves does not necessarily mean there will be werewolves around. I think you would know werewolves probably are less common than generic wolves, at least in the material plane. In Barovia,
Also, would I want to know if werewolves would usually have wolves with them, or they usually are lone creatures.
I think that you would
They
know
have like a pet.
they would probably stick to themselves, like more likely.
More likely.
Yeah, like it's more that they could be paired up with them briefly, but I think that you would know that there's not much to benefit by keeping like regular wolves. Things like we're going to go for a hunt, let's take some wolves with us could be very useful from that point of view, but like it's not like they would build their society around a regular wolf just for the sake of it. They would use it like a tool, the same way anyone else would. Like you would use hunting dogs.
Cool. I'll share out just for time's sake. I'll share out the party. Or I know about wolves and werewolves and stuff. My assumptions.
And then you're gonna head west back towards. Are you gonna stop by the winery first, or are you gonna head straight to Krezk?
I think it's head straight to Krezk. We will part at the Crossroads.
Perfect.
And we'll just take the bottles of wine that are in our bag to save time.
Sure thing. You bid farewell to the Vistani, head north back to the Old Svalich Road, begin heading west. You cross over the Lunar River Bridge and you find yourself at the Lunar River Crossroads once more. And as you're there, flying straight towards you is a swarm of ravens who are flying at quite some speed.
Oh god.
They land, they immediately shape change back. You see Davian there, you see Stefania, Dag, you see their children. And Davian immediately calls to Adrian and he goes, Adrian, the winery, it is lost. What do you mean, father? The wild men, they came in force. They had this giant living tree. The whole building torn to sunder.
Oh god damn it! Do it! I look at Callum and I go, Callum, we can't let them go unpunished, Callum. Look what I've done.
Seeker will be like,
And how do you... Okay, so Seeker, yes, you told us. What would our presence have done?
we could have maybe stopped them in some capacity.
A giant tree? You were going to stop a giant tree that's just
Trees.
completely wrecked a winery?
No offense, Max and Birdman, but we're not exactly powerful. We're strong, but not that strong. And bear in mind, we know Strahd was there. It would have been a bit stupid to go there, personally.
And as you say Strahd was
How
there,
many were there?
Davian will immediately be like, what do you mean Strahd was there? Did you know something about this? We did not see the devil with them.
We saw Strahd flying south. Whether he went to Yester Hill or another direction, another location from there, we do not know.
Davian just probably stares at you. That was a helpful bit of information to not tell us about.
We didn't know that until it was on the road.
Nope, you knew that when you were at the winery and didn't tell anyone.
No, but
You fucking know that.
As we didn't know until we saw.
In retrospect, we could have fucking told them.
How many of them were there? How many of them were there?
There was the giant one itself, and then it came with another horde. Not as many as before, but we've all been exhausted. We only were just beginning to get back on track of our sleep. We're not strong enough to survive a battle like that. We only just got away ourselves.
Are they still there or they gone?
Last I saw, the winery was in ruin. They were destroying the vines. We left all we
So
could.
sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry for your loss, my friend.
What of the gem that you were trying to keep and defend? Do you still have it?
I still have it. And whatever is inside that giant tree had a similar green glow. But it is useless without that land. And without the winery, what is the point? And I think for the first time you see this quite hard man who was like keeping up quite a strong thing, he just begins to cry. And he just falls to his knees, just sobbing. Like his life is falling apart. What is the point? Devil has us.
The devil, what Strahd wants to do is crush our hope. And it seems as though that hope has long gone, has been crushed with the winery. I cannot promise answers. I cannot promise more hope. But all we can do is try. Because once we give up, he's officially won. He can take everything from us. He can take lives. He can take us away from our homelands. He can deprive us of everything that we previously knew. And yet, if he takes that hope, only then has he won. I can't get you your winery back. But I can... All I can promise is to do the next best thing that I can at any point. We have people here who are in grave danger, who Strahd is trying to find and take for himself. We wish to get them to safety. We wish to vanquish this tree that has destroyed your home. And once that's happened, then let us talk again about trying to get you your lives back. But please, if you can find it within yourselves to maintain a smallest glimmer of hope, please do.
I was about to tell him, like, sometimes rebuilding is a good thing. You can rebuild stronger than before. And, you know, sometimes the old ways never last. So bringing something new could be a good thing. Even though it's dark at the moment, there's always a lighter tunnel. Yeah, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now I'm just going to cast a light on my stuff.
Yeah. I think Davian has checked out of this conversation probably a while ago. This thing anymore. But Adrian, Elvire, Dag, and his wife are all listening. And their children are like, visibly shaken as well from the events. And Adrian kind of like pulls them together as much as he can. Goes like, "Alright, we'll be okay. We're going to go stay with Uncle Erwin, aren't we? Maybe spend some time in Vallaki for a little bit. Come on." And he'll probably usher you guys off the wagon and like try to encourage the kids to get up, doing his best to keep any kind of like hope.
Could Seeker give his bat plush or the bat thing, the toy, to one of the children?
If you want, yeah.
Yep. Here, have this.
Yeah. Good. Good.
Is no fun, is no blinksy.
Yeah, it's funny. We used to have one of these when I was much younger.
How old are they?
The one who you gave it to,
We'll go to the youngest one.
the youngest one. Well, that would be the baby girl Yolanda.
Right, sorry, the youngest one to be playing with toys.
Then that would be the boy Vigo, and he's probably about 4.
Vegan.
Vigo.
Vegan. Yeah,
I like him.
You'd give it to Vegan.
I like his name.
The boy, Max.
Probably his brother Martin would go to pull it off him, and then his mum Stefania would be like, "Boys, you can share." We're like, "Okay, mum."
Aww.
But it is a welcome distraction, I think, to the devastating loss that they have just endured.
So we head to Krezk, drop off Ismark and Irina, and then go to, what was its place name? To Yester Hill? Question mark?
Yes, that's the plan. Let's go to Krezk and then discuss the plan from there. Because every time we try and think 8 steps in advance, we get 2, and then something comes along.
Quick question. Till what time can we go today?
I can go.
8 o'clock, mate. You can go 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Because I'm gonna have to pop off for about 30-ish minutes, 20-minute break around 7 p.m. British.
We can call it then. We'll just call it. We'll do another hour, then we'll call it.
Okay,
Alright.
well.
So the Martikovs will all get back in their wagon. They'll turn it around. They'll bid you farewell. Davian doesn't even say anything. And they head back towards Vallaki.
Head towards Krezk, trying to maintain the hope in ourselves.
Yeah.
Towards Krezk.
So,
Does anybody have a harmonica?
No.
I think I've got a horn.
I've got a loot.
Oh, don't get onto it. It gets banned.
If somebody could start playing the sad harmonica.
Do I have a horn? Nope.
Wow.
It's been like Richard O'Brien
Yeah.
on the Crystal Maze, when everything's going wrong inside and he's just playing the harmonica.
She was from Grapple. From Grapple, you didn't even know.
Right, so I'm just setting up something here for you. Let's see what we have.
We set up something, guys. You know what that means?
Oh dear, that means a lot of monsters on the GM layer.
Roll 20. Roll 20 is crashing.
Roll 20 is crashing.
It might not even be anything hostile. Who knows?
What campaign is this?
Make it.
It's like a rainbow unicorn, guys.
There's a man selling ice creams on the northern side of the. Yeah.
Made of children's blood.
I mean, the last time I was selling anything, that was the pies with the hags where Mimir died. Well, for the first time, anyway.
Yeah.
As you're traveling along the road, kind of just almost within minutes of leaving Lunar Crossroads, you find a corpse on the road. But it is not a human corpse or a humanoid corpse. It is the corpse of a wolf, and it looks like it's been. You see, there's still a few remains of crossbow bolts sticking out of it, and obvious marks of piercing weapons have been plunged into it. It's on the outskirts of Vallaki. Perhaps a patrol had found it.
Mm-hmm.
Said this crossbows bolts is stuck in it.
Yeah.
With me being a warrior and a soldier background and all that crap, would I be able to identify if these will be the same crossbows that the brothers are using?
Sure.
I know, I probably met them very briefly, but maybe have a keen eye for equipment and stuff.
Yeah, perfect. You make me a. I'll give you advantage on that one if you want to do it's intelligence check.
Oh God.
If you recognize them.
Just normal intelligence check, eh?
Yeah, it's at advantage.
Cool. Oh, 3. Fucking hell. Who needs advantage, right? Let me see. I can start expecting the crossbow.
That's a nice short flick.
I mean, Max, you would know it's they reckon they are similar in make of the ones that the wolf hunters had, but like you would also know the guards were using the same ones. They probably get them from the same supplier. If it was the wolf hunters, they probably would have taken the wolf corpse with them.
Right. Okay, and then I want to do another check. Can I do a survival check around to see tracks and things to discern, like how many wolves are there? Like, if how many hunters? Like things like if I see any tracks that that can tell me roughly what
Yeah, if you want to do like a survival check, looking around for anything like that, you certainly can.
Yeah, try basically all those tracks for both like wolves and like any animals around and hunters.
Everything, yeah, definitely.
This may be the same check, it may be something different, but Callum would be interested to see which way this wolf was heading when it got shot.
Sure.
Yeah, can you do it? That'll be the same, no? It'll be probably the same. So can Callum give me advantage?
Yeah, Callum can give you advantage if he'd rather.
But also, Seeker, after all that's done, all the investigation, could you try and get the pelt of this wolf?
Is that okay, Callum?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Seeker, if you want to do that check, you can.
Could re-roll the one if you wanted, Mr. Halfling.
Oh shit. 24 still.
Look at this.
24.
Okay. So Seeker begins like taking this thing apart, pretty much. Just like making sure it is all nice and clean. Meanwhile, Max, with Callan's help, you begin like trying to work out where this thing came from. It looks like it came from the north. And it was going south when it was attacked on the road. You see that there was either a scuffle. There was probably more of them, and it looked like whoever engaged them was on foot. A group of probably about 3 or 4, you think. But it looks like they didn't give chase. They probably fought on the road and then kept moving.
It looks like they're moving forward. It's probably 3 to 4 hunters. I'll my best guess.
They would be moving. The hunters would be moving back towards Vallaki.
Well, the hunters. It appears that the hunters are moving back towards Vallaki.
Very well. I don't think there's much that we can do about this. Seeker, if you've done your business, then let's keep on our way.
No, just need to keep an eye out for wolves.
Always, Max. Always.
I mean, didn't we have to go to Wolf's Den or something?
Yep.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. There's a wolf's den to the north, as well as
Okay.
the
I don't know. Stick to the plans. Bro.
Yep.
It's a nice vacation we can go to after this all's done.
Right. So you continue down the road, and you kind of come to the Raven River Crossroads, which you've now been to several times. This weather-worn signpost next to the road, pointing down 3 branches. And you kind of start following the one that leads towards Krezk. And as you do so, crossing the bridge, you hear a deep voice call out from across the bridge itself. And just through the chill mist, you see this large man in drab clothing, wearing this tattered grey cloak. He's got shaggy black hair and thick mutton chops, and he leans heavily on a spear and has a small bundle of animal pelts like slung over his shoulder, and he just calls out, "Who goes there?"
We are visitors to Krezk, hoping to make allies.
Very well. Have you been to Krezk before?
Callum will turn to Arena and Ismark in case they want to jump in with a yes. But otherwise, he'll say...
Would Seeker be to Ismark? Would he be? I'm not sure, honestly.
I think Seeker tried to get in the Krezk before, but they wouldn't let him in.
I tried and failed. You could say there was an attempt.
An attempt was made.
They're not super friendly
He'll
over
give you a
there.
very nod.
It's okay. I'm just a trapper. I'm heading back to Vallaki myself.
Insight check.
Sure.
Does he look like the
Can I
hunter
also?
from the bar?
Can I help him? Means I was just as good inside as
Yeah,
well.
you can ever inside him yourself. You can help him.
Yeah.
I'll help.
I've taken the
right.
advantage, but got a 22. So Callan's just going to turn to Max and be like, "Does he sound legit to you? Like, does he make sense? Underneath the bridge, like a troll."
He's not underneath the bridge. He's on the far side.
All right.
Like
okay.
you're on one side of the bridge and he's on the other, and it's like he's heard your horses and things coming, and he's like waited for you to come into clear view before calling out, as if he was expecting maybe like an animal or didn't know what to expect.
Got it.
He was waiting to see what you were before he started making a lot of noise himself.
Does he look like the hunters from the Clearwater Range?
Like he's dressed kind of similarly. He's got like fur. Has furs like slung on his shoulder, like that have been skinned recently, kind of like what Seeker has. But his appear to be a bit better quality, and he's got like meat and things like slung over his shoulder as well. I would say Seeker. Nothing about this guy kind of stands out to you as like strange. Callan, you have reason to doubt that he is from Vallaki. You think he might be lying.
Are you from Vallaki originally, friend?
Oh, I passed through. I don't really call anywhere home anymore these days. Bounce between here and Krezk mostly.
I can empathise with the feeling. Why not come over the bridge and we can have a chat rather than calling and raising, getting more attention to ourselves.
Sure thing. And he'll begin to move towards you.
Is there anything about the way that he's walking? Any mannerisms? How light he is on his feet? Maybe Max, if there's any kind of soldier marching training that we're able to pick up from this guy?
I mean, with your
So
insight
he's
check,
carrying
I'd
the
say
crossbow, correct?
no, he's not. He has a spear.
Oh. Interesting.
He's like leaning on his spear. But you did see the wolf that you killed had spear marks in it, but you imagine there's probably multiple people fighting it. So he might not be on his own. If it is the same man.
Yeah.
And yeah, he'll approach you and be like, again, it's good to see you. And he kind of like gives you like a little like look over, Callan, and as he does so, he just gives a very loud whistle, and that's where we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, fuck.
So, I would just like the party to help me out here, because I'm assuming that Callan and this man were having a nice little conversation. So you can see the bridge, very poorly drawn. But I need to know who's on horses, who's where, because you obviously got Ismark Arena, Nelly and Furtado to worry about.
Seeker would be up front, and he wouldn't be on a horse because he doesn't like riding them, so he'd be about here.
I'll be on foot.
Oh boy. Let's fucking... Also wanted to ask, Rob, you were running your quickfire play-by-post today, right?
I've already run one, yeah.
Cool, just checking. Might do one myself, so just seeing what... It was tier 1 through 2?
Tier 1.
Cool, thank you.
If you let me know what the combatants roll, I will add it to a list here.
Sure thing.
Well, he looks fucking ugly.
He's got his hood up. Because he's fuck ugly.
There you go, 11.
I mean, I don't have much to talk about, eh?
Alrighty. Get all this set up. Marvelous. Okay, so who position yourselves however you want, who will be on a horse, and then I can position Ismark and Irina as well to reflect that. So.
I already positioned Seeker where he is going to be.
Horses are probably just slowing down to like get ready to cross the bridge. Probably just slightly staggered. Ismark, Irina and Stella are probably going to be sharing a horse, probably behind Ismark. And Ismark will be riding the other one, unless you guys wish to be on one instead.
This is fine by me.
Alright, perfect. Lux, you're like taking up the rear, just walking on foot. Right, then, top of the initiative where Max, this individual, he whistles out, and then it is your turn.
So this guy here whistles out, yeah?
He gives this loud, shrill whistle. And you see he, like, goes for his, like, spear.
You cut him! Watch out! I'm gonna fucking rush him.
Sure, go for it.
Let's see where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go around him.
Sure thing.
So 25 feet. So 25 feet here. Boom.
Yep, you go all the way around. Perfect.
And I'm gonna. Should I go large now?
Is it reset on a short or a long rest? You rune.
I'm gonna go large.
Sure.
Bonus action. Fuck, is it coming again? Fuck's sake. It's a fighter, giant.
I think it's a CC giant -1, isn't it? Yeah, you go from your halfling form all the way up to your large form.
2? I thought it was meant to be 3.
Maybe leveled up on Avery.
Yeah.
And have you done level fighter 7? That might be it.
If you just do exclamation mark level, then you should automatically. And then just do exclamation mark CC.
Yeah. I think it's 2. I'll check after with him. Okay, I'll go large, take my glaive, and I smack this guy.
Good thing. Make your attacks.
Two attacks for him.
Alright. Max, you bring your glaive down in 2 strikes. The first one against this individual will... Actually, both will hit. And as you carve your glaive into him... Tsing! Tsing! That's weird. That didn't cut anything.
Oh dear.
Oh, dude, immune. Does it feel like my damage did him?
It appears like he is immune to your slashing damage from a non-magical attack.
Oh,
Fuck.
But your glaive isn't silvered, is it?
Well,
I don't think it's silvered.
no, it's not.
Not it's over yet.
it's it anyway. Well,
Shit!
Well, tits.
Remember whenever there was like the smith over at the Vistani camp? Yeah, forgot about him, didn't we?
oh, there was a fucking smith.
I'm like, fuck! He's resistant to normal weapons.
Immune.
Immune. Yeah,
Oh,
immune.
Oh no. Anyway.
What do you mean you don't remember Jakob the Smith NPC made up on the spot?
Like, I am gonna. Can I action surge? Can I drop my glaive and take out my fucking magical staff?
Yeah, you can drop your glaive as a free action. And then as your use object, you can draw your magic staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna use action surge. It's like, fuck! You think got away from me, it's a bitch.
Quick question. Sorry. So obviously he's done these 2 attacks. Normally we would roll 1 attack.
Yeah,
You'd say,
resolve them
"It's
individually."
crit, but no. And then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to drop it, pick up the other one, attack, and then...
Yeah, but you can't split attacks?
Yeah.
Yes, there's nothing to say that you can't split
You can break
attacks.
them up. So, like, you could have hit him with the glaive and then, like, thrown the glaive to the ground and then pulled out your thing. So what's your to hit with it? It'd be the same modifier to hit, wouldn't it? But the damage die would be different.
Okay, so 1d8. Let's go over again. Can I do that? Is that okay?
Yeah, just do 1d8 and then we can sort out your modifiers and shit. Plus 14 to whatever you roll. 5 plus 14. Yeah, as you hit him with the same anyway.
The 4, it's just +4, just +4, because 10 is not a great weapon, so it's just...
Perfect. So then it'll be 9 damage. So you
then I'm
hack
gonna
into him
do
and that
is-
seems to do something to him.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add 1d6 to that damage.
Right.
So +4. Because my giant might. To another 4.
Yep.
They're like, oh, shit. And an action surge. Fuck's sake. I got damn it, you guys know. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, you just do it.
What's the fucking weapon called again?
Althias staff.
Fighter Surge.
Oh shit! Boom! But that's shit damage though. God damn. Oh, it's meant to be two-handed. Ah, fuck's sake. How the fuck do I do the two-handed version of this weapon?
It should give you the option when you attack with it.
So the first attack, second attack. It's not giving me the option though.
Whenever you
Oh,
type it in, it does
sorry,
two-handed.
it does. Sorry, my bad. It does. There you go.
Oh, much better. The 9 will miss, though.
Yeah.
I will be nice, and I will let you re-roll me to 1 more d8, and I will take that for your first damage, because you rolled 2d6s instead.
So 1 more d8.
Roll 1 more d8, and I'm going to take the d8 plus 4 plus this d8 for your crit. Because I'm nice. Let it be known, I am nice.
Let it be known.
It's only because he knows what's coming and he kind of feels not to feel that already.
Proclaim it to
man.
all the land. He is nice.
Timothy of the land. He is darkness, he is the land. Anything else, Max?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Alright. The end of Max's turn, we then go into... What we got up next? Callum.
I'm going to grab my magic sword. Any emotions sparking particularly?
Yes. Hate. Kill. Do not like.
Okay.
Purge the heretics.
He will do his best to comply. So he's going to move, he's going to stay where he is. He's going to draw his sword. Bonus action to make it go lightsaber.
Yep.
And he's going to attack twice. No, just once. Sorry, because
You're not a fighter.
he's only a
I think.
He's not
Are
a
you?
swords bard,
Yeah, you're not a swords bard, so you don't get extra attack, so you just attack once. The Sun Sword.
You're a Jedi.
This sunlight beams out.
Quick question: does the sunlight have any effect on them?
Doesn't seem to.
Nope.
And within that one, as you bring the blade down, although it tries to guide your strikes as best as it can, you're not quite used to this weapon. You're expecting a bit more of that sort of like heft to it, and it's not quite there.
I'm getting there. And I'm going to give a bardic inspiration. Am I?
You've already used your bonus action to extend the sword.
Oh, I have, yes. Yeah, that'll be it then.
Alrighty. After Callan's turn, Lux. Luxy boy.
We can see you on the camera.
I don't think...
I've just been
away saying.
He's looking at spells, hit spells on his phone.
Yeah.
Checking his Facebook and
I can see him kind of like no like cover or anything like that.
Yeah, you're behind the horses, but like you can just yell at your friends to move and then blast your spell. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, you might want to duck, and then I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
he's the blaster.
Yeah, and it's minus D plus 4, isn't it? Minus D4. So what? Is it to do
Oh, it's
2
already
blasts?
ended.
Is it RR2?
yeah, just do, or you can even just do X2, like space
Quick
X2.
question: with the minus D, what is it that you're doing? Because isn't there a snippet for AB? Isn't there a snippet AB for agonizing blast?
Oh, is it? AB.
He has to set it up
Okay.
himself because it doesn't.
It's not a server one.
It's not a
Okay,
server
got it.
side one because it changes based on your charisma mod, and it just does it for whoever inputs the command. It just does it for them. Quite frustrating.
Oh, I'll do it another time. There we go. Pew pew.
Nice.
And
Yeah, they both
bonus
hit.
action, I will do nothing. I'll stand there and say, "Don't worry, guys. I'm here with you guys. Yay!" Try and protect the people around me.
Perfect.
That's it.
As you start blasting at the end of your turn, it is now the bad boys. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Turn, and he will call out in common. They have some sort of magic weapons. And he will say, "Get the big one and the one with the glowing sword first. They have a spellcaster in the back as well." Just begins yelling out to you all. He is then going to use his action. Change form.
Ooh. Why, hello there. What a twist. He is a were-rabbit.
Oh yeah.
You've been waiting for this encounter since I got the were rats on you, haven't you, Opal?
This is completely randomly generated. I rolled for it and everything.
Oh, right, nice.
Number of werewolves.
What
Location?
dice did you roll for the number of werewolves? 5d12.
20.
You
All
could
right.
have 20s and you rolled 2 crits. Just watch all those werewolves.
You don't see them because of the thickness of the forest, but you hear coming from the other side of the bridge, Max especially, people moving through the leaves and stuff as they're trying to get to you. But because they were just within whistling range, so they were probably quite far away. Lux, you would also hear from behind you sounds of people moving through trees and stuff coming towards them. That will end their turn. Seeker, I believe.
Yes, sir. Alright, when I look at the map, Seeker is within striking distance. Ooh, what the hell happened with fucking what the hell happened there? He's gonna run up, he's gonna make 3 attacks, one using his bonus action, and then I'm gonna need him to make me, first start off with 1 con save for the first punch, and if he fails that, I'll see how I go for stunning strike. This is going to be magical fire.
Sure thing. I'll save the con in case you miss. Doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes,
3 will
thank you.
hit. It will succeed the first one.
That will succeed.
Gonna keep going.
I'll give him another one for good. Have him roll another one.
Yep, 21 again.
Jesus.
Alright. Do I want to do another one? Flip a coin. I want to stun him, but... Yeah, go for it.
7.
He's stunned. I'm going to remove...
3 key.
3. He's...
Is stunned.
I think they're on a short rest. I think he's...
Damage. Perfect. And as you stun him at that final one, you just hear his neck break. And he just... He's dead.
Oh. Bruh. Wait, why did that command work before and isn't working now?
Which command?
Is it exclamation mark mon... I'm doing exclamation mark stunning.
Monk stun.
Ah. And that's gonna be his turn anyway.
Beautiful. Alrighty, top of the round. Max, this werewolf in front of you has been killed by your allies. Neck broken, stabbed a couple of times, blasted a little bit, and you hear some of the things moving around in the forest around you.
No, there's more of them.
There's more over here too.
Oh, so both sides or just one side open?
From both sides of the bridge.
Shit. Okay, in that case, Max is gonna run. Max is gonna run towards here. Fuck. With my short legs.
What about the little one?
Bah! It's gonna do what it's gonna do. And then I'm gonna use my.
Give you guys some nice little.
I'm gonna put bonus action and use my. Shit, I don't think I will. I think. I don't know. I'm in there, so I'm just gonna. And then I'm gonna dash. Here. Boom.
Beautiful, yeah. You can just get behind your allies.
And that's it. That's my turn.
Perfect. All right,
Because it said they come because it said they come from both sides, yeah.
Yes, Luck said he heard
Yeah,
some
so-
from inside as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay here because I want to make sure I protect these people in here. Because that's what Max would do.
Okay. Alan.
So I'm just having a look at who's on which thing. Quick question about how invisibility applies to mounts. Is that only a special thing that, if it's a control mount? Because I know that obviously your character on the server casts greater invis, and then
It's because it's a find greater steed. So any spell you cast that only targets yourself, it specifically targets your mount as well, if you're mounted on it.
Okay. Is there any idea of where the greater threat is on this bridge or not?
If you want to spend your action to do your perception check, I'll certainly allow you. Otherwise, you're just going off what you know, that there is a threat on both sides.
Callan is going to move to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to move there. He's going to say, retreat now, back up, let's not fight them on two fronts. Get the horses back. And will ready an attack with his son's sword well, first thing he's going to do, he's going to cast, as a bonus action, Shield of Faith on himself. That's a bonus action.
Where did Max go? Oh, there he is.
So that's on Callan. And he will ready an attack with his son's sword if any hostile creature gets within his melee range of 5 feet, he will strike them with it.
Thing. And after Callan, it is Lux.
I am going. We can't see anything, can we? They're not here yet. So I will ready. Yeah, I'm gonna ready a chromatic orb at first level. For as soon as one of the water comes running out, or when I can see one.
Sure, first one you can see. Got it.
What damage type is it going to be?
It's going to be fire.
Beautiful. Oh, anything else, Lux?
No, that'll be it. Sorry, yeah, that'll be it for me.
Side of the bridge. This werewolf comes out of the underbrush. Lux, you can take your attack. 15 will hit for 11 fire damage. Yeah, it does take that. And it will then close the distance on you. 5, 10, 10, 20, 25, 30. It's going to get right up in among you and Max, and then it is going to attack you.
Reaction.
Yeah, is it as your pole arm because you're wielding a quarterstaff?
Yep.
Do you have Sentinel as well yet?
Oh no, next turn. Next level, lad. Next level.
Oh, imagine.
The ultimate battlefield control.
I was like, let's fine. Oh, there's all more enemies.
The ultimate whack-a-mole machine.
Kapow! Max damage, bitch!
12 just hits as well as it runs through as the Goliath staff hits it. And this one will say it as hybrid form, be like, the big one does hurt a bit.
D6 as well, because it's once per turn. Boom, plus another 5.
Beautiful. This werewolf is going to try to bite Lux. Zavray catches up. Oh, robot. Missing. And is going to try to claw you. 21 for 8.
I will shriek and a bit, and I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke at 2nd level.
Perfect.
Can't do that. You've already used your reaction with the Reddit spell.
Yes,
True.
correct.
Yep, so you're stuck.
Oh, that is cancelling. Gotcha, no,
Sorry.
That's fine.
This one is then going to go 5, 10. This one's going to run in and say, focus the spellcaster down first, idiot! And just also points on Lux. Max reaction has already been used, unfortunately. Same again, Lux. Wow, getting really a lot of these fucking bites. But the claws consistently hitting.
So that's 8, 9, 10. That's 14 damage so far.
Let's see.
I think I'm going to turn into a werewolf. I was like, bite me! Giant werewolf halfling.
If Seeker turned into a werewolf, would he be a were-raven because he's a kenku?
No,
A bit like a-
werewolf.
Like a werewolf.
Aww. I really want to be
A werewolf with wings is equally effective as a werewolf with wings.
You'd be like a were-Pomeranian.
No, but you know,
That's his other.
The only
I could shout at the Marvel.
Watch out, there's more of them!
werewolf for werewolf.
Fucking hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fucking hell, bro. Shit. Everywhere. Let's put the damage.
Seeker gets fully surrounded, but they dash to get to him.
Oh shit!
And they lock him in place as best they can.
Well, hello there.
And that will be their turn. Seeker.
Yeah. He's gonna focus on, I don't know, on this way there. He's gonna focus this one.
Sure, go for it.
He's gonna attack him 3 times and then use patient.
Patient defense only lets you do it as a bonus action. So you can only attack twice.
Oh, never mind, twice. So twice and patient. And this is gonna get magical fire.
Perfect.
Shoot.
11 will miss, but the 28 will hit. 14.
And he's gonna use patient.
Perfect. Alrighty. Ismark, Irina, and Stella's turn. Ismark is going to get off for Tado. It's half of his movement. And he is going to, overhearing what Max has said before, be like, our weapons are useless! And he is going to try to grapple the werewolf.
Fucking legend.
Wow.
Can
Wow.
Callan shout, don't do that, shove him! Shove him on the ground!
It's too late, Cal. I'm committing to the grapple. I'm not very intelligent.
I see where the letters
Ismark
came
the
from now.
Can we call him Ismark the Chad from now on?
He grapples the werewolf and he's holding it down as best he can in place. Get him, Max! Irina is going to try to calm Nelly, and actually she's going to tell Stella to try to calm Nelly, and then she's going to try to calm Furtado because both the horses are getting spooked. So Stella and her are, she's going to say, Stella, just stay on, and in case it goes, just stay with the horse. Stella, she'll get you somewhere safe, but just try to calm her. And then Irina is going to try to calm her horse. Come on, Irina. Come on, Avery, you slow fucking bitch. Oh, she did it like that. And then Stella. Stella's gonna also try herself. Yeah, they managed to calm the horses from spooping this round as they are under attack. Because they are not military trained horses. They will panic and run.
Panic and run. Panic and run, boys.
Unfortunately, Callan, because they were going for Lux and Seeker, none of them have entered your reach. And top of the round, it is then Max.
Alright. I'm going to go for the same one I was hitting before.
Yep, that's the one just below you.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to do a 1d6 on that as well. So that will be double. Oh my god, look at that. Plus 12. Oh no, I need to roll twice. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, sorry. I got excited there. Fuck. Still good though. Ah, damn it.
21 damage. You bring this thing to a critical state.
Is it still alive?
Still alive.
Ah, you motherfucker.
Oh no, I think pretty sure these guys are going to be tough.
Ah, still alive. Okay, right. Okay.
Keep going, Max.
You can do it.
Max dealing with the
Next
fact
one.
that he doesn't, isn't it?
Next one. Let's go. Ah, shit. Dope. But because I rolled a crit, I can roll my bonus action. Oh no, it's not a great weapon. Fuck, it's not a great weapon.
Not a great weapon. They will miss, unfortunately.
Okay, I can do a polar master, yeah.
Yeah, with a 1d4 damage.
A little whap.
With 2 in it.
Full arm bonus attack.
Jesus, that's a lot of attacks. Jesus.
The martial class. He doesn't have any spells.
Unless you're an Eldritch Knight.
12 will just hit for 6. He looks critical. Still standing.
Still standing. Oh. I've used my 6 already, okay, so... No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna end my turn there.
Alright. Callan, you're up. Currently nothing is within reach of you, but Ismark has grappled one just around the horse from you. There's also Seeker on the bridge.
I will tell Ismark to drag that one away from Lux and the horses. I'll tell Max to keep focusing on his. And which is the one that Seeker's hit already?
It's the one in the bottom right.
Be...
This one.
No, this one.
Yeah.
The bottom one.
Callan's going to go to there to help Seeker and to make sure that they don't try and get away. And he's going to attack that one with
Go for it.
his...
Sun Sword?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, the Sun Sword is still washing the sunlight all over.
17 for
17
14.
hits for 14 damage. Yeah, definitely. That stabs in him. He's like, ah, it burns!
Burns.
And bonus action, we're all okay health-wise, so I'm going to give a bardic inspiration to Seeker.
Thank you. Heyo.
Perfect.
That's a 1d8 for you, and that would be my turn.
Marvelous. Lux. These things have seen you were shooting them, so they've closed the distance deliberately.
I'm going to... I'm wondering if I want to do more of the other, so I'm going to do both. I'm going to cast... what's this called? Spell called again? Sorry. My apologies. I am casting... Oh, God. I'm going to use that. Yeah, I know that. What's it called? Word of Radiance. That's one. But
5 foot around you.
Yeah, but I'm going to quicken it, so it's a bonus action.
Sure thing.
Quick, just one thing first. Are you not trying to quicken a cantrip and then cast a main action spell, are you?
Yeah.
Opal.
No, quicken the main action. Quicken the level spell
and then cast
and
Word of
then
Radiance.
cantrip, because otherwise you won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I guess I won't do it then because I can't. Because the spell I want to cast is a ranged spell, and I'll get disadvantage. So I guess I just won't do it then.
Also, it won't. Word of Radiance doesn't push them away from you as well. It just affects that
I was planning on killing Hope and killing one and running away and getting an opportunity attack on one. I don't want to take both.
You could just disengage if you wanted, and then quicken a spell. Like if you could quicken Word of Radiance and then get away, or quicken something else and use your action to disengage, or again use your action to disengage and then do a ranged spell as quicken.
I think I'll just save my sorcery points because long rests are very few.
Yeah.
And we'll cast Word of Radiance then.
Go for it.
Cast that.
Make some con saves.
Oh, but just a quick one.
Yes.
I was looking at the feat for Great Master. It doesn't specify. It doesn't specify. It just says on your turn when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon or reduces 0, you can make a melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
Perfect.
Just feat reference.
But you can take that now if you want. Because I don't think you did anything else.
You did do your Polar Master.
Oh, you did your Polar Master instead, yeah.
Yeah, I did Polar Master.
Instead, do you want to just roll me instead of that D4? Just roll me the other damage. Roll me your D8 instead.
I think it missed. Did it? No,
Polar
it
Master
missed.
didn't hit. It hit. I'll swap out because it was a 2 on the dice.
It did not. No, it didn't. Oh, it did. It did. You hit 12.
It did.
So 1 did 8.
Roll a D8. 7?
That's 7.
So that actually, Lux would have killed it back on Max's turn.
Oh.
So although your Word of Radiance didn't do anything this time, to either of them.
I think I'm going to risk it actually, and since it's dead, I will try and move away. Disengage.
Sure thing.
Well,
Yeah.
not disengage, move away.
Just back up. Yeah, it will take an attack of opportunity against you. Does 14 hit you?
14 does hit me.
Make a con save, please.
Oh shit.
And if you're going to use your you're fine. You're fine.
Whew.
I'm just trying to think actually if I want to. Yeah. No,
As a note, you can move through the horse's spaces or Max's space. You just can't move through the werewolf space.
Yeah, and I was wondering if I wanted a reaction, like Hesh rebuke it, but then I'd lose my reaction. I might keep that just because. Yeah, I'm just gonna move 30 feet this way. I'm just trying to provoke. If he tries to move to get to me, he's gonna take opportunity attack.
Yeah, and Ismark has him grappled as well, so he's going to really struggle to get to you quickly. Because he's going to have to break the grapple first.
Yeah.
It's going to have to go for me.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll go like over here then, maybe.
Perfect.
Wait for my wolves.
I would go there to be honest, because he can move around. He can move around me.
Not while he's grappled.
No, it's grappled.
But if he escapes though.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go here, and he wouldn't. Or here. Up to you.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, yeah, that's it. I'm just thinking the werewolves on the far left, just been away from them. Let's go here. Too far
Right,
away.
Callan, you've entered the fray, and the werewolves are going to take full advantage of it on their turn.
Oh, nice.
They are going to move around Seeker and just go for you because you have this holy glowing blade.
Can I take an no, I can't take an opportunity attack, correct?
Nah, they're not leaving your reach. Unless you have
As a free
Sentinel.
action, he's back. Shove him on the floor.
Please! I'm not sure I didn't think of that.
Gonna roll all these together for the sake of ease.
Do the fucking wrestling move.
My 18 19 currently, just so you got it.
I will then put
Where's
that.
Mac? I didn't know you know jiu-jitsu.
Then I will roll them individually, Callan, because if they hit you, then it may affect your.
It'll affect the AC, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll roll them individually.
They feel threatened by a Seeker's wavy feathers. Ouch.
Miss. That one will hit.
I'm gonna use my
Con
reaction.
save.
I would like to use my reaction.
Yep.
On the last hit.
Okay.
It's the shield of something.
How far do you have to
So
be? Because this one's 35 foot away.
60 feet.
Okay, cool.
So he just needs to reroll the attack again. If he hits, reroll the attack.
Sure
And
thing.
then he has to use the next roll.
You'll miss.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know what the fuck you just did, Max, but nice one.
Don't worry. I got some tricks in my sleeve now. Out of my sleeve.
Miss. Last one will hit though, Callan, for 7. I'll take your conk check from earlier, so you still have your thing up.
Conk.
Conk.
Conk check.
The one that's being grappled by Ismark, quick assessment. Ismark doesn't have any magical things, so he is going to turn his attention on Max. Going to claw Max for a 19.
Oh, that hits, I think. Yeah, that hits.
And he's going to try to bite you, but Ismark just manages to pull his head back just in time. And yeah, he's unable to get to you.
Can we stress again to Ismark to push him prone in a second?
Yeah.
So 4 damage for me.
4 slashing damage, yep. This werewolf slashes across you. Seeker, it is then your turn. These creatures, they've turned their attention off you and are focusing on the wielder of the sun sword.
He's gonna try and hit this one. I'm gonna make three unarmed strike attacks. One is my bonus action. He's gonna target this one primarily. If it dies, he's gonna go after this one.
Sure thing. Going around clockwise. Got it.
Oh, I'm coming for you, you puppy. You bad puppy.
Unarmed strike.
So
puppy.
second 2 will hit.
I'll use the inspiration on the first. Oh, I should have called inspiration. Fuck.
I'll let you use it.
I mean, if I called inspiration, it would be on the first one anyway, so I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a
Is it
D8.
D6 or D8?
D8.
Protect.
Still misses.
Fuck's sake. Bruh.
-6 and then
Bruh.
-8. Yeah, it's still standing, but bloodied. And you didn't declare flurry of blows, so you can't flurry of blows.
I didn't. Yeah, I used my for the bonus action. I couldn't use flare of blows.
Anything else?
That's gonna be my turn.
Alrighty. It is then Commonerville. Ismark is going to try to shove this thing prone.
Fucking +5 as well.
He just shoves it on the fucking ground.
fucking judo move.
Oh,
I've got him! Get him, Max! Like he's just wrestling this werewolf to the ground. This was like trying to now turn his attention on him. Like fuck, this guy might be a problem. The horses are being spooked once more.
I'm impressed. That's my
Just going like that. Jumping on his head.
judo fucking tackle.
he's more the fucking Chad. He has a black belt, I'm sure.
I know. You should give up swords and just use a fist.
Okay, is the horses though just with this thing being falling behind it? Furtado is going to panic, and it is going to just try to gallop to anywhere it could perceive to be safe. That is probably going to away from the threat, so it's going to move 5, 10, and then it is going to attempt to try to trample people out of its way. Let's see if it goes for Callan or the wolf. That goes for the werewolf. The Who's won't do anything, and it hasn't moved far enough to get anything. Like
I'm gonna have to hop off for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's about. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think at the end of this round. So once I get sorted, the
Well,
horses.
I'll be able to be in combat, but I'm gonna have to hop off.
Stella's horse turns and bolts 5, 10, 15. Will bolt the full way off the map, just running back towards Vallaki, and Stella's just clinging on for dear life.
No, Stella!
Help, Max! She's just gonna take its action to dash. It's draft horse.
Kind of short its legs.
Let's see here. How fast can you go? 40 foot around. It's already moved, so it's gonna be 50 foot from us. Yeah, cool. So it's technically 50 foot off screen. Right now. As it just bolts. And I think that is the end of our commoner's turn. And I think with that, it's probably a nice little place to stop as we were doing battle with these werewolves. I know people have to go at 7 and 8, so probably better to stop it here, and then we can pick it up next time. Hopefully you guys will reach Krezk.
Alright.
Cool.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
You know what? We'll have got this far and then we'll TPK to chuffing random encounter.
Was they level up? What?
Nah.
No.
No, we just leveled up, Pax. That was the thing.
Stop.
If anything, I should take a level off you for letting the winery get destroyed.
Yeah.
You know what?
Just wait till that word gets out. Ooh, you thought Vallaki was sad before.
Oh shit.
You know, when you say, "Oh yeah, it's about 2 to 3 hours for the wine," I was like, "Oh, something's gonna happen."